Police were stationed at the school's grounds this morning. Other officers went to the boys' home where it's alleged they seized a gel blaster. A fifth COVID jab is now available for eligible South Australians. It comes as new data shows the unvaccinated versus unvaccinated risks associated with COVID. The research analysed more than 70,000 cases recorded in SA between August and October last year. Associate Professor Caroline Miller says the risk of hospitalisation is 8 times higher if not vaccinated, and the death is 5 times higher.
So what that's telling us is that it's really important to stay up to date with COVID vaccines because it protects you from the risk of being hospitalised and also from the tragic outcome of dying from COVID.
A witness to a deadly shark attack in New Caledonia thought calls for help were a joke until he saw water turn red. A 59-year-old man from Australia was swimming off a pontoon in Noumea when he was attacked. He was pulled onto a boat by sailors and taken back to shore but couldn't be saved. Amal was there at the time. He says the event happened very quickly.
Someone screamed, shark, 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 and we saw someone fighting with something. We didn't know what, obviously, and then the water became red, maybe on 5 square meters. So we realized it was a true shark attack. It wasn't a joke.
The federal opposition claims women fleeing domestic violence should be able to have access to their superannuation. Labor is planning to enshrine the definition of super into law, arguing its key purpose is to provide retirement income. As part of the proposed legislation, early access to funds would also be made harder. Liberal leader Peter Dutton says this could be detrimental for some people.
The Treasurer is proposing that you can't use your own super money to help you get into a house as a first home buyer or, as I say, a woman escaping domestic violence or wanting to restart her life after a messy separation.
Now turning to FIVEAA sport, an Australian Test cricket captain Pat Cummins has briefly flown home from India but will play in the 3rd Test. Cummins returns to Sydney due to a serious family illness and will rejoin the squad later in the week. Wes Agar has taken 5 wickets as South Australia bowled Victoria for 169 on day 1 of a Shield match. The Redbacks are currently at 2 for 36. And the Matildas aren't getting too carried away despite beating Spain 3-2 at the Cup of Nations. Coach Tony Gustafsson admits they were humbled in the second half, conceding 2 goals.
It's an important reminder that we need to play all the way through to the last second. When I gathered them circled up on the field, I said, when we score in extra time against New Zealand, you win with 1 goal and all this excitement about the win. Now when you concede in extra time and you're winning, it kind of puts a little bit of a different emotion. But we can't let that last goal cloud our sight of the performance.
Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
At Regency Park, got a breakdown on the north-south motorway near Grand Junction Road. Heavy delays outbound. Busy at the moment, Marion at Cross Road, also Grand Junction Road at Port Road. Got work slowing things up at Bedford Park. That's on the Southern Expressway. 2 lanes closed as you're heading into the city. And cameras Meckins through at Henley Beach and the north-south motorway at Dry Creek. Lots of small jobs to do. Bunnings Warehouse can help you get it done this Fix It Feb. Small jobs, big change. Visit your local store at bunnings.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
Now the FIVEAA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Sunny this afternoon, 35. Mostly sunny tomorrow, 36. Wednesday, mostly sunny, 38. And Thursday, up to 40. Right now, it's 32 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
School shooting threat. Police swoop on a northern suburb student. Why health authorities say adult South Australians should get a COVID booster jab. The new rules that could shut the door on Australians tapping into their super early. Plus the push for junk food warning labels. Is it a step too far? I'm Brenton Raglas. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
The FIVEAA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G.
5 minutes after 4, it is a Monday and we're ready to kick off the week with plenty of sport. Lovely to have your company. She's a warm one out there too, kicking into a bit of a heatwave by the looks. Rowie, Timmy, good afternoon.
Yes, Sammy, 35 today, 36 tomorrow, 38 Wednesday, 40 Thursday and Friday. Summer welcome.
Oh, summer love. It's like no other love.
Well, you were singing that.
I was. You know, I'm not allowed to
Get
sing
it
on air.
out there, Timmy.
That's why I did it.
A magnificent cracking weekend. I smashed the tuna out off of Pondy, and I was at a phone range. There's nothing. There's nothing in Pondy but fishing and mateship. So when I got back in range, it was this morning. I drove back early this morning. I thought, had a good mate drive me. I thought I'd just Google and get up to speed with the sport. And the first thing that was on Twitter and everywhere was Australia's capitulation. The second test, we were 1 for 61, 2 for 83, lost 8 for 28 and 101 balls inside an hour. Timmy, welcome. And what in God's name happened?
Oh, look, it actually ruined a pretty good weekend. Like, you've had a good time, you know, and I was having a wow of a time. And I tell you, it was just spoilt by such a capitulation. But the disappointing thing about the whole thing was just the continuance of the sweeping. Now, surely there's somebody in the shed saying, I reckon we'll stop that. I reckon...
Isn't that up to the batting coach?
Well, I reckon the coach, number one, then maybe the batting coach, then the skipper, and then the senior players, and then the person themselves to make that call. So there's plenty of people can make that call. Now, you know what upset me the most about it? You remember Malcolm Blight? He used to love torpedoes, right?
Yes.
And he used to say to his players, go for a tour.
If you hit it,
great. If you don't, have another go, and then
put it in the shed.
Put it in the shed. Stop it. That's the theory that should have been here with the sweeping. It was staying too low. You've had a go. You've had another go. All right, put it away.
Yep.
No, we'll keep going.
Well, the batting coach is Michael Devenuto. I'd sack him.
Oh, that's...
Oh, he has to go. Kawaja Smith, Renshaw, Pat Cummins, a golden duck, Alex Carey, Alex, I'll give you 2 words, Josh Inglis, all out. Have a listen to the sweep.
Oh, straight away, success. Was that closer? This time the finger goes up straight away.
Bolden right to his defence. Oh, again a shout. The finger's gone up. Out. Another one.
Gone. Oh, gone. Another one perishes. Another one.
Folding. Jadeja finishes the job for India.
And that's as quick as it was. Literally, all sweeps, a reverse sweep by Alex Carey. Pat Cummins, for me, was the worst. The golden ball duck. He went for a big whack-a-rolly over cow corner.
Yeah.
And over goes his castle. He I know he's on his way home, and I hope everything's all right for the young lad. I do love him. Here are some of the comments, a bit of a montage from them over there.
And the shot selections today just defy belief, you know, playing so many cross-bat shots.
They've got to change their tactics and the way they play. I would be amazed if they didn't say anything. I'd be amazed if Andrew McDonald didn't say, boys, you can't do that anymore. That is just ridiculous, that the way that you're getting out.
I mean, what was the plan going into the game? Watching how the Indians batted, even watching how the Australians batted in their first innings, it wasn't a shot that you could play on that wicket.
I just think for some reason they thought the sweep shot was their best way of scoring, but they've got it wrong because, you know, the pitch is low. It's not really biting and bouncing.
The Indians showed the Australians how you need to bat on a pitch like this, one that's staying quite low, playing their cross-bat shots. It's a very, very low percentage shot and on this particular pitch.
It just breaks my heart to hear all of that. Ravi Jadeja. I mean, God love you, mate, but you're not that good. He got a 7-fer. You know how some people have someone as their bunny? Like Warney had players that were his bunny.
Yeah. Darryl
McGrath used to point, you're my bunny this to
it.
You are my bunny. The Australian team is his bunny. This bloke, if he played for Australia, against Australia, in every test from now till he retires, he'll beat Mutai Muralitharan's record.
Well, you know what? It's more so on us, I think. It's more about the way we're going about it. We're our own bunny, the way we're playing. Yeah. So it's just so disappointing that you couldn't just go, okay, I'm gonna hang around here. I'm going to make this really hard. I'm going to show some grit.
You said it in the sport room. What did Ian Botham used to say?
No, it was Jeffrey Boycott.
Oh, Jeff Boycott.
Put a price on your wicket. Put a price on it like it's gold. And you don't want to give it up.
Nah,
and to me, we're just trying to do ridiculous shots on a pitch that didn't play to that.
Well, here's Chestavar Pujava.
If you look at this pitch, it's not an ideal shot to play because there's low bounce. But yeah, it is difficult. But my game, I use my feet really well, so I try and get to the pitch of the ball, and I try and judge the length as early as possible. So if you can move your feet, if you can get close to the ball or play on the back foot, then it's better on turning tracks.
He sounded a lot like Pajara to me.
Yeah, fair call. Timmy, fair call. So the Australian, well, I'm still a little bit slurry. There's a lot of apple to be had, a lot of tuna to be filleted,
to get through the system.
Vintners and Rusden. Oh, boy. Ask me how my liver is.
Oh, yeah.
Don't ask me.
Under pressure.
The Australian capitulation. Who watched? Who like us is gobsmacked? Who like me it wrecked your whole weekend? Who's the fault? Who's to blame? Do we sack the batting coach? Who the hell is he? And what's your solution? 822 300 00. I'll give you one. Old mate Warner. Apparently he's got a busted arm and concussion. That's it. See you later.
Yeah, it's not...
Don't rush back for the third test.
To tell you the truth, it probably, without a word of a lie, the way he was struggling, it might be a little bit of a godsend for him to miss, one, that second innings, two, maybe the next test.
I know. Foodland text, the first thing Rowie does when he gets back in range is check his Twitter, but I didn't think you had Twitter. It's our Rowie and Timmy G
correct.
Twitter. I do not have any social media.
No.
Have your say about the Australian team. We want to do about that. Disappointing to read this one on the weekend when I got back into range. Probably the second story, hence the order we're doing this in. Collingwood youngster Jack Ginnivan. He's been suspended for 4 AFL games, 2 pre-season games in round 1 and 2. He's been slapped with a $5,000 suspended fine. And he does record a strike against him. Here's young Jack.
I feel like I've let 44 of my best mates down, the club, hundreds of thousands of people. So from me, I'm so remorseful and I'm so sorry for that.
He owned it. I love that about it. Graham Wright's the Magpies GM of football. Here's his quote, unquote. This is an isolated incident. Graham, how would you know? Because the illicit drug policy, you don't get found out. It's a 3-strike policy. Unless you self-report, it's a no-strike.
Or you're caught like this.
Or you get caught like this. They have a mental health component of it that you can say, well, listen, it was mental health, don't do anything about it, and off we go. There's a lot of people that say with this, why do we even have an illicit drug policy? I'm ready to just say, get it out. It's not a deterrent. It doesn't deter. And if you look at Bailey Smith after that grand final, got the 2-week suspension, just suspended $5,000 fine. There's no ramifications for him. He plays on. We all think it's in society. Most of them do it, if not most, some. And if you get caught, well, you're an idiot. And if you don't get caught, happy days.
You certainly don't want to encourage it, do you? That's the other thing. You don't want to encourage it.
There needs to be a deterrent, but doesn't there?
It feels like it can take a long time before you're discovered. And he was discovered by accident, let's face it. And I didn't like the fact that somebody's filming him in a toilet. I don't like that at all. But it was then delivered, to a TV station and run with after that. So that's the only reason.
Sadly.
We know that players can go to the club doctor, say, look, this is what happened on the weekend, and nothing's ever said.
That's exactly
and
right.
That's probably the bit that...
And it's only the club doctor that knows. If I was the coach or the CEO, and they were one of my boys, I want to know.
It's tough, yeah.
And who's the best to look after that lad? A coach and a CEO?
Yeah, and the player welfare, they all have them set up now. That's probably the person you want to get involved straight up to try and help with, because you don't want them repeating it. And you don't, ketamine, I believe, is what's being thrown around that he took. It's a pretty serious drug. I think that's what the anaesthetists use to put you under.
You can knock a horse.
Yeah.
Knock a horse out.
Got to be careful.
So a lot of people are asking, what is the 3-strike policy for the AFL on the Foodland text line? First positive test is a suspended $5,000 fine, and only the club doctor knows. That's it. Yep. Bang. Second is a positive test, is a 4-match ban, $5,000 fine. You have to pay that, and you're outed publicly. So because this was a photo and it was proof, he jumped straight to the 2, but he's only got a first strike.
Yep.
So he got 4 matches. He missed rounds 1 and 2 in these 2 trial games. Third is a 12-month suspension and a $10,000 fine. It was revised in 2015. This is for people that have been asking.
Yep.
Travis Tuck is the only player to have copped a 3-game strike. And he was suspended for a year.
Yeah. So nobody's been out, yeah.
Well, if it's as prevalent as you think, why isn't there more of it? Well, I'll answer that. You can go to your doctor and say, I've had a bad week. I'm struggling with that.
Yep.
Okay, that's okay. Just don't do it
Yeah.
And let's move on.
It's a worry that you're thinking, okay, if they get 3 strikes and you're actually seeing it more than that, then that could be a really serious issue.
I had a look at it. The AFL has a illicit drug policy. The NRL does. Rugby Australia does, a 3-strike policy. Our A-League doesn't, but they do refer illicit drugs to it. So the Premier League, no. NBA, no. NFL, no. So you're thinking...
And you wonder, well, because I suppose from a performance-enhancing point of view, the bodies like WADA and ASADA are only looking for things that are performance-enhancing.
That's right.
For your weekend out, if you like, and they're taking drugs, they're not concerned with that at all. It's more so about the welfare of the player.
That's exactly right. I don't mind that, but let the coach and the CEO know so you can get your arms around them and help them. What do you think about the AFL illicit drug policy?
On that.
$50 pounds voucher, have your say. Lines are available. Take your calls after the break.
They're not happy about the cricket.
And on a positive, no, they're not. But let's get to them after the break. And just a real positive, and this is because we got a little bit of skin in the game with this. Our mighty Scorpions.
Scorpions, yes.
I'm a Scorpio. Scorpions. Are they different? Same, aren't they?
Yeah, it's the same creature.
Both have a
one's a star sign,
a vicious sting.
One can actually sting you.
Yeah, there you go. Well, we're through the grand final of the One Day Cup. It's our second final. We're going to play Tasmania again, and our girl Gemma Barnsby. We call her that because she's the skipper. She's South Australian, but she's also our 5AA intern.
Correct.
She one day will replace you, Timmy G.
Absolutely.
Anyway, she scored the winning runs.
Down the track and hit straight down the ground and brings up the victory. She raises a fist in the air to Gemma Barnsby, and the South Australian Scorpions are into the final.
Can we call Gemma Barnsby?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get them confused. No.
Play Tassie and Tassie this Saturday. Go you good things. Just one last one. Our mighty Reds, Timmy, as we go to the break to take the calls. A 4-all draw.
Yeah, we got Is on tonight. I went, and I got to tell you, it was the most exhilarating game.
As good a game as they've been this year.
And most flattening game I think I've seen the Reds play.
So they
incredible.
They got the 4th in the 95th minute.
Oh, yeah.
And they were down to 10 men.
There was barely a minute and a half to defend. And they had 10 men and they got through. And you could see the reaction on Carl Viet. He went absolutely ape on the boundary line. He went off his head.
Is there a little video of him doing the works? Because you sent it to
There's
me.
always those memey things, isn't there, that happen. But he had every right to go off. So I'm interested to see what he said after the game in the rooms.
There's a few Daffy Ducks.
I reckon there would have been.
Let's have your say. 18 after 4. Ryan Harris coming up on the program to go through the second test. We're going to speak to Nathan Bassett. As you mentioned, Timmy's going to join us. Edmund DeBro from our victorious Scorpions into that final, and $1,400 to give away for our mystery moment. 8223 0000 is our number, and you can watch us on the live stream for Foodland on Facebook and YouTube. 19 after 4.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. David and Will invite you into the studio every morning with 5AA's live video stream of The Breakfast Show. Thanks to Foodland. With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Bob Burns Blinds is feeling more-ish. For a limited time only, the more curtains and blinds you buy, the more discount you receive at Bob Burns Blinds. The more, the merrier. With quick installation, high-quality materials, an extensive product range, and first-rate service, now's the time to create those stunning indoor and outdoor living spaces that you've always wanted. Buy more, save more. Book your free measure and quote today at bobburnsblinds.com.au. Conditions apply.
We love our vast, rugged country, but out here, there's no place to break down. For 50 years, the team at Terrain Tamer have been engineering, testing and manufacturing off-road four-wheel drive parts. Over this time, we've learnt what is reliable and how we can strengthen a vehicle to ensure a safe journey. With Australia's largest range of four-wheel drive parts, we're the four-wheel drive specialists. So you can be sure no matter where you are in Australia, the Terrain Tamer team will be there to help you get home. With Terrain Tamer, you're in safe hands.
Hi, Alan Lark from Annex Air. Modern ducted reverse cycle air conditioners are super efficient and the most affordable way to cool or heat your home. And when it comes to the best, you can't go past Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, the award-winning quality Japanese brand of choice. Buy a fully installed Mitsubishi Heavy Industries ducted system now and get big cash buyer discounts. So buy now, stay cool and save. For a free quote, call 1300 Manix or go online anytime.
Building amazing homes is important to Beechwood Homes, and so is the environment. So when you build with Beechwood, you're building a better environment for our kids and grandkids. Here's why. Around 70% of scrap materials from every Beechwood home is recycled. Bricks, rubble, timber, gyprock and steel, none of it goes to landfill. It's all sorted and recycled. So life really is good. It's even better in a Beechwood home. Google Beechwood Adelaide today for a better future for all of us.
Come on in.
We open our doors to people we trust and care about. And for over 85 years, South Australians have been opening their doors to Rest Haven. In turn, we've been opening doors to an easier, better life at home. From personal care to help with the shopping and social outings, you'll welcome the care that Rest Haven brings.
Ray White, big name in real estate, but also the biggest name in business broking. What makes us big? Our people, like Brett Buckley and his team. MBA, lecturer, and multi-time SA Business Broker of the Year. Brett doesn't just read a P&L, he feels it. If you're selling or expanding your business, Brett can take your business apart and find you more money. And we're not talking small change. Go on, touch base with Brett. Search Ray White Business Sales SA.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
22 minutes after 4, going to get to calls and texts in just a second, but here's your roads.
Regency Park, got a breakdown there. It's on the north-south motorway near Grand Junction Road. Heavy delays outbound. Busy right now, Glen Osmond Road at Green Hill Road. Slow going for works at Brooklyn Park, Henley Beach Road near Rolls Road, with cameras Tapley's Hill Road, Glenelg North, and West Beach Road at West Beach. It's festival time in Rundle Mall. Shop longer and later till 7 p.m. on Saturday. All festival season with Myer, David Jones, Cotton On and more. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And we've been talking about the second test. 2-0 down Australia now after its capitulation. And, well, the Foodland text says it all. It's your fault, Rowie. You predicted 2-0 for Australia. Can you feel it? No, I can't.
Yeah, fair call.
Mark from Parrils.
Hello, Chris.
Boys, I was actually in Bali yesterday watching it. Flew home last night, and I sat there in amazement, and I sort of pondered it afterwards and thought, there's been so much talk lately about the English cricket team, right, about how they're going out aggressively and taking on the game and scoring quickly. And when I heard that, and I've heard it in the media so often, I thought, well, that's been Australia's motto for years, is batsmen are out there to score runs, so that's nothing new. But the selection of shots, if you're going to be aggressive on that pitch, I mean, this pitch was not turning like the first test.
Yep.
All right? It was keeping a little bit low. That's the softest 7-wicket haul I've ever seen for a bowler of all time. And I'm going, if you want to be aggressive, get your feet to the ball.
Correct.
Get your feet up to the ball, catch it before it moves. That's being smart and aggressive. But for some reason, Australian batsmen don't seem to have that in them. Yet you watch them in 2020, every one of them will take a step forward, every one of them will take a step back. So I just don't understand what the thinking was, and if it was an attitude to go out there and be aggressive, that's great. I've got no issue with that. But my goodness, guys, you're international cricketers. You're the top team in the world, pretty much.
Yeah, Chris, this is the first thing I do. Chris, this is the first thing I do. If you want to be a Test cricketer in the top 5, you don't play T20. Yeah, you just don't bloody play. That baggy green is worth something to you. You don't play. Chris, thank you for that. And I don't know, who's the batting coach?
Well, I was on with breakfast this morning and I said exactly that. I said, I think this Bazball thing has got in their heads, and I think on the back of, playing too much T20 and the like, they just think that they can do this in a Test cricket. You can't. Well, James. G'day, James. What do you think?
Yeah, g'day, Timmy and Rowie. Look, I think there's a couple of things. You've hit the nail on the head. I definitely think that players are very focused on how much they can earn out of the game these days. There's multi-million-dollar contracts for the IPL and so on. So to read today out of interest that David Warner was cooked before he even got over there into India because of the amount of cricket they've played means that, one, there is certainly a real issue around just having too much cricket on the international calendar. And the second thing seems to be this, massive confusion around planning. It seems to be very haphazard. They took Agar over there with a first-class bowling average of 45. He clearly failed on the Sydney pitch, which turns. He gets over there, and obviously there's a few issues with him, but they then have to jettison into the test team tournament for his first test, on top of Murphy, who's playing his first test, in the toughest environment in test cricket, which is India.
Yep.
So it just seems to be that on a number of fronts, they really have got it pretty wrong at the moment.
Yeah, they have. Great call, James.
Great call, James. I got a text to back that up from Steve. He just said, boys, cricketers are like today's AFL footballers, just after the next deal, no accountability. So, Andrew.
I put it on the people higher up than the players. Hello, Andy.
When did the Andy start anyway?
Oh, Andrew.
It's okay, it's all good.
Apples Mackenzie from Kersbrook. What do you want me to call you?
Apples Mackenzie. No, apples is apples. You can't take apples.
I know.
Yeah. What was I about to say? Now, all with respect to all your previous callers, they've all missed the mark. We turned that cricket side into a bunch of soft numpties. They should be getting a brand new Rolls Royce or Bentley or something, send it around to the JL's house and say, listen, son, we made a big mistake. We need you back.
Interesting, isn't it, since he's come out, that maybe that hard line approach that he had. And this is where I go, Rowie.
But you can't do that with modern kids. I can't give James
but this
one
is
between
where,
the eyes.
But this is where I get upset when this is when you allow players to pick their coaches. Remember, I've said it all along.
Exactly
Players
right.
play, coaches coach, boards hire and fire. You did the opposite.
Yep.
Pay the
That's what we've
price.
done.
Before you go on to our next caller, Michael, some breaking news coming out as well via Peter Layla and the Advertiser. Warner and Hazelwood are both being sent home. They'll miss the rest of the Test series. Hazelwood's had a niggling Achilles and Warner, obviously, with that fractured elbow. The replacements are interesting. Mitch Swepson, we knew, was come home to see the birth of his first child. He'll return before the start of the next Test. The other one, who's leading the runs for the Sheffield Shield, a likely replacement is being reported, Cameron Bancroft, who has not been seen since Sandpaper Game.
Since 80 grit, and so he should. He thoroughly deserves it. If Warner's in there and Smith's in there, well, that young lad does. He was pressured to put that 80 grit in his pocket. Someone had to do it, and he wanted to stay in the team. He said, yeah, why not me? I'm wrapped for him. Hello, Michael. You want to talk about Ginnivan?
Who?
Huh?
G'day, Michael.
Oh, yeah, Rory and Timmy, how are we going?
Good, buddy.
Regarding the drugs in footy, these players get mentored and told what to do when they're out in public and that, and they get really a lot of support from the club. Now, someone gets caught, having drugs at that. I would actually say one strike, and then dob in the bloody mongrel dealer. And if he dobs in the dealer, maybe he can play. Because they're scum of the earth, these dealers, and they don't need to get caught. And snorting up coke in a bloody stinking toilet. That's ridiculous.
Well, I don't know whether he did that.
Oh, he was in a toilet. I've
Let's
heard all sorts of things, but you know what? I'm a bit with Michael. I wouldn't want to. There's only one thing I want to do in a toilet. Let's go to the toilet.
Is that number two? Hey,
Or one.
there's a Foodland text right here, and I love this one, and it's in the running for the $50 Powers voucher. If Ginnivan was a crow. We all know what you mean about that. Hey, I know it's smack on 4:30, but we were talking about Jadeja, and you read out a stat. Just share that stat again with us.
It was interesting because a few weeks ago you guys didn't really know the impact he has against Australia, and then he took a fiver, and you went, well, who's this guy, Ravi Jadeja? Well, since 1900, no cricketer has taken more Test wickets against Australia at a lower average than Ravi Jadeja.
Did I not tell you that Australia is his bunny?
He 5-fers, 6-fers, 7-fers all the time. He loves playing Australia.
Well, that in itself, in the history of Australia playing India, that's embarrassing.
It is.
Of course it is.
Absolutely embarrassing.
4:30. We're going to dissect more of the Test match with Ryan Harris after the headlines.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, I'm Michaela Kamarek. A 14-year-old boy will face court for firearm offences after a threatening social media post aimed at Playford International College. The campaign for an Indigenous voice to Parliament is getting underway with the National Week of Action. Australian firefighters deployed to Turkey to help in earthquake recovery efforts say the situation is like nothing they've ever seen before, and Aussie Test cricket captain Pat Cummins has briefly flown home from India due to serious family illness. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Regency Park got a breakdown there. It's on the north-south motorway near Grand Junction Road. Heavy delays outbound. Busy right now, Glen Osmond Road to Green Hill Road. Slow going for works at Brooklyn Park, Henley Beach Road near Rolls Road, with cameras Tapley's Hill Road, Glenelg North, and West Beach Road at West Beach. It's festival time in Rundle Mall. Shop longer and later till 7 p.m. on Saturday. All festival season with Myer, David Jones, Cotton On and more. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Mostly clear tonight, a low of 20, sunny tomorrow 35. Currently it's 33 degrees. More news at 5 o'clock and as it happens on 5AA.
5AA Breakfast.
I am holding in my hand a packet of snow peas. These snow peas, they're not imported from some exotic overseas location. They're made in Paraka. Guess how much these snow peas cost?
Informing Adelaide.
$9.50.
Yes.
$9.50. How the hell have we got to a point where a packet of snow peas costs $9.50? Every single one of these snow peas costs 43 cents.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
At Orana, we believe everyone should live the life of their choice. That's why we create opportunities for people with disability to live as independently as possible. Our homes are safe, welcoming, and above all supportive, where people can learn daily living skills, make friends, and get more out of life. We support people with an NDIS plan for a short stay or in their forever home. For independent living, make your home with Orana. Visit oranaonline.com.au. Orana, creating opportunities.
How does saving $2,000 a year on your mortgages sound? That's the pledge from Mortgage Saviour. It's their mission to get you mortgage free as soon as possible. Mortgage Saviour is not affiliated with banks and other big corporations. Their advice is genuine and authentic. No hidden surprises, just the best lending options for your circumstances. With more rate rises on the horizon, it's important to talk to Vincent. He's a mortgage surgeon. He'll take a look at your situation and make the cuts needed to save you at least $2,000 per year guaranteed. And if he can't, he'll give you $500. Find out what a Mortgage Saviour can do for you. Go to mortgagesaviour.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Why buy an Island Star caravan? Well, they're designed and used by Knowles Caravans. There's thousands on the road and 75% of Knowles customers are repeat buyers. They know when they're onto a good thing. Go with the people you can trust with 5 decades of service to Australia's caravanning community. You'll love the way they do business. Knowles Caravans, 561 Salisbury Highway, Greenfields, opposite Mawson Lakes. Serving Australia since 1974.
Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans.
This is RB Day with more tales from the bedroom thanks to Supercraft Bedding. Supercraft Bedding has been handcrafting mattresses since 1873. Now you'd think there's a bit of waste. Well, we've been recycling before it was on trend. Leftover foam is crumbed up and made into special positioning pillows for hospitals or affordable pillows for charity. This is RB Day for Supercraft Bedding, building better beds at 42 Richmond Road, Keswick.
Tackling cancer takes all of us. We're here for all Australians affected by cancer. Call 13 11 20 for cancer information and support. Cancer Council. All of us against cancer.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
25 minutes to 5. Nathan Bassett coming up, Port Adelaide fans. And is a 4-4 draw for the Reds yesterday. We'll speak to him in the next half hour.
Well, Australia lost the second test by 6 wickets. It was on day 3. I thought we were in control there for some part of it. But anyway, our batting was woeful. Joining us, former Test star Ryan Harris. Rhino, welcome.
Afternoon, guys. How are we?
Explain that, if you can. 7 out with sweeps. We lost 8 for bugger all and 101 balls. I've never seen anything like it.
No. It's hard to put words to it, to be honest. As you said in the intro, we were in control heading into that day, 1 for 60 odd. Obviously, I think they had a 64-run lead, but another 100 on that would have been tough for India, maybe a bit more. But to see the way they went about it was really strange. They didn't look like they had any sort of plans. Well, obviously their only plan was to sweep, which didn't work. So you still need a good defence. I'm being told, obviously I'm not a batter, but you still need a good defence to be able to combat what we saw, and they didn't have it. So well, they would have been, as I mentioned, they would have had some confidence going into that day, and obviously it fell over very, very quickly again, as it did in Nag 4.
Rhino, what do you think was said, or if anything was said in the sheds after, 3 of them were out sweeping?
You'd hope something along the lines of, we probably should watch our sweep shot. Look, I don't. It's hard not being there, not knowing.
Yeah, who would it come? Who would it come from? Would it come from coach, batting coach, teammates?
Yeah, the batting coach probably, or the batting group. The feedback would be coming back that it's obviously slow and low. And they'd be obviously watching it closely. I mean, I saw a vision of guys when they were out looking at replays on the iPad. The technology they have there that shows a lot of information. So they would have known what it was like. I guess, the mindset from afar, obviously I'm not over there, but is that the only way that they felt they could score was to try and play the sweep shot or reverse sweep. So, and I think as it's pretty obvious, we saw it happen, but really disappointing. I mean, obviously the messages didn't get through, if there was any discussion. I'm looking forward to see how they bounce back. I know they went over there with high expectations on this tour. There's no way that they want to get done 4-0. So I'll look forward to see what happens in a week's time.
You mentioned planning, or maybe the lack of there. In the recent documentary, the follow-up, the test, there was this chat about we've all got an individual plan. We don't have an overall plan. We've all got an individual plan. What do you think of that concept?
Well, I think as a player, you've got to have your own. You should know your role. Everyone should know their role in a team. And as a player, you do have to have your individual plan. Obviously, your plan will change sometimes on what's happening in the game and obviously what the team needs. But in a situation like that, everyone's different. Where they're going to react differently to what shot they play, and like we saw, and it looked like everyone had the same plan yesterday. With that sweep shot or the reverse sweep. I mean, for instance, Alex Carey plays that shot. He plays the reverse sweep like a cover drive now. That's the thing, He probably picked the wrong ball to do it too. But everyone would say, he got out reverse sweeping. Well, he practiced it. He plays that shot a lot. That's a strength of his. He just picked the wrong ball to play it to. And maybe not in those conditions, the way the ball was spinning or not spinning or not bouncing. So it's just summing up the conditions and playing to those conditions. And don't get me wrong, they are very difficult conditions to play in, because there's a reason why we haven't won over there very often, because it's bloody hard. But they've just got to have they should be prepared for it. Their preparation, maybe there wasn't enough preparation. They didn't go in until late, but going in by all reports, that they were happy with what they did here in Sydney at the moment. But they had a centre wicket in Sydney that they said they got enough out of. So maybe that's right. I guess they'll sit down at the end of it and debrief it and work out whether that was right or not.
Does the blowtorch come under Paddy Cummins' clacker a bit to a blue flame? I mean, his bowling's not special. His field placements, a lot of people are saying, is a bit sketchy. And his second innings dismissal, that golden duck, was simply diabolical. I mean, is he beyond reproach at this stage?
I don't know about that. I mean, he's being tested, isn't he, for the first time? Yeah. And you're going to be when you go to these places. I thought he did a really good job he was captain in Pakistan, wasn't he? And I thought he did a really good job over there. It's a different kettle of fish here. Again, these wickets are probably worse than they were. Pakistan wickets are very flat. Yeah, look, there's some things he should have done better last night. I was really surprised. I was sitting and watching the game with Darren Lehman, and he was saying, "Why isn't Paddy Cummins bowling?" And I'm surprised he didn't bowl an over, or even at the top, just to try and get some uneven bounce out of the wicket. He didn't bowl. I don't think he bowled a ball, so that was a little bit disappointing. And then, at one stage, there was no pressure around the bat, which again was, needing wickets, was very surprising. So there's probably a couple of things there that that he needs to work on. And the other thing about it with that is Steve Smith's out there. He's vice captain. You know, that's what he's there for, to offer some advice on things that he may see that the captain's not doing. If he's got his own plan, if the captain's got his own plan with what's going on, you know, he can obviously enforce that, but he's got to take responsibility for that. So, I didn't see Steve Smith too much talking to Paddy a lot last night. I didn't watch every ball, but you know, the fact if Smith wasn't offering any advice, then I'd be a little bit disappointed with that. But knowing Steve Smith, I'm sure he would have been.
So, Rhino, there was the 8th wicket partnership, Ashwin and Patel. I think they made about 114. Now, that for me also was a crucial point in the Test match, where if we get them out at that point, which we should have cleaned up that tail, maybe they're chasing 220 instead of 115, and it might make a world of difference. So once again, I looked at it and thought maybe the one quick, even though, like you're saying, he was under-bowled, the one quick, was it a good tactic in the end?
Oh, I don't think so. And I don't know to this day. I haven't read enough or seen enough whether Stark was actually fit or if he wasn't. I'd be very surprised if he was fit and they didn't play him.
Yeah.
The thing that's hurting us most is Cameron Green being injured. Yeah. He slots in beautifully at number 6 and bowls good pace. So he's your second quick. You play him and 2 spinners and use Travis as your 3rd spinner. That would be the perfect mix. But you talk about that partnership. That's what won the game.
Yeah.
For India. That was just a phenomenal partnership. I think what we need to do, the Australian batters, is just have a bit of a look at those 2 innings and how they played. The defence was great. They got the bat out in front of their pads. They played really, really well, Ashwin and Patel. So there might be a couple of lessons, taken from those innings.
Hey, Rhino, as always, thanks for your time.
No, thanks, guys. Nice to chat.
Cheers, big fella.
Man, Ryan Harris there, former Australian Test cricket. And just the news again, Warner is flying home, so to Hazelwood, who they selected and sent there unfit, and he's now going home unfit.
Yeah, look, I think probably the hope was that his niggle might come good, but it sounds like it's gone backwards. So he's coming home as well.
It is 18 minutes to 5. Let's check your traffic.
At Happy Valley, got a car v motorbike, Winterbanks Road near Happy Valley Drive. Hillcrest got a crash, Northeast Road near Innes Road, and we're busy at the moment, Marion Road at Cross Road. Pretty slow going for works at Brooklyn Park, Henley Beach Road near Rolls Road, with cameras Adams Road, Craigmore, and Blacktop Road at One Tree Hill. Fuse by King G has added new lightweight styles to the range, combining workwear performance and street-inspired design, exclusive to Totally Workwear. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
Make your day a cream-on-top kind of day with a McCafe Deluxe Iced Coffee. A shot of barista-made espresso with the decadent taste of hazelnut or vanilla or caramel. It's real coffee, real deluxe. McCafe Deluxe Iced Coffee. Now that's coffee fit for an Aussie.
Hello, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years, we have specialised in commercial and residential property management. But above all, we specialise in people, helping to make life easy for property investors and the tenants of their properties. Everyone is treated with integrity and respect. That's the Lynn Andrews way. For commercial and residential property management, we are here to help. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
4:45. If you're close to or have just finished building your new home, well, congrats, but it's not really complete without a stunning driveway or picture-perfect paths around your new little castle. So get in touch right now. Do this with the credible team at Adelaide Exposed Concrete.
They are outstanding. Their service, their communication, their workmanship, everything they do is absolutely first class. I'll tell you how good it is, Rowie.
Ooh.
I've seen some of their aggregated driveways,
nice.
and I'd get remarried on that.
No,
it's that good looking.
No.
I'd renew my vows is what I'm saying. Yeah. Bit like an Elvis Chapel, at Vegas.
If your current driveway or your paths or patio are a bit ugly or they're cracked or falling apart, give the super friendly team at Exposed Concrete a call and replace them.
It's a bit like me.
Just do it.
Whether it's stunning exposed aggregate driveways, paths around the home, patio areas, the shed, you name it, just get in touch with Adelaide Exposed Concrete, best on ground all year round, adelaideexposedconcrete.com.au.
I'm Kathy Nagel, Chief Executive of Western Hospital Henley Beach. Cancer diagnosis is a traumatic and emotional life event, but we are here to help. Western Hospital offers a wide range of cancer services to those in the western suburbs and beyond. We pride ourselves on assisting our community for the past 25 years in the fight against cancer within our friendly chemotherapy unit. Experienced nursing staff are the cornerstone when providing outstanding care. Visit westernhospital.com.au.
The mattress floor stock clearance is on now at Harvey Norman. All discontinued mattresses from the big brands must go. Now's the time to upgrade your mattress or ensemble. Our range includes the big name brands Sleepmaker, Sealy, Body Balance by A.H. Beard and Temper. This is your last chance to buy a quality-made mattress or ensemble at an amazing price. All discontinued mattresses must go. The mattress floor stock clearance ends soon at Harvey Norman.
$2 usually sounds like, but with People's Choice Community Lottery, $2 could sound like. Get your $2 tickets for a chance to win a Toyota Kluger Hybrid at communitylottery.com.au. T's and C's apply. SA Lottery Licence Number M14289.
For the very first time, Mary Poppins is flying into Adelaide. The critically acclaimed new production arrives this July. Don't miss out. Book at Ticketek.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
13 minutes to 5. Nathan Bassett just around the corner and $1,400 to give away for our mystery moment.
Well, one of the most exhilarating and flattening days I've ever been to. I tell you, Cooper Stadium was going off. It was 4-3. It was into injury time, and then this happened.
Milanovic steps inside Kitto. Layuni. Oh, and he's got through two defenders and places it! That is a glorious goal on debut from Amor Layuni.
Talk about ripping your heart out. It was an unbelievable game. We've got our star midfielder and experienced leader, Izzy, on the line. G'day, mate.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, look, it was amazing because, as I was saying, it was one of the most exhilarating Reds games I've seen, but I left there flat.
Yes, it was. I guess it was a nice game to watch for the fans. A lot of goals, a lot of excitement from the start to the end. Unlucky for us that we couldn't maintain the result and we lost. We draw the game in the last seconds.
What did the coach say about it? I saw the physical reaction when I was at Cooper Stadium. I was worried about his blood pressure. What did he say afterwards? How did he address it?
Yeah, he was obviously so disappointed, the same than us. Obviously, when he's at the end of the game, sometimes it's better don't speak. Go home and watch the game, analyze the game with a cold blood, and probably we will watch a game together tomorrow, and we will discuss the situation and how can we fix the small mistakes that we had.
Don't we know how to park the bus? They were down 10 men. Was 4-3 at the 95th minute. They strike. Not only that, we held the lead 3 times. Is it the fact that we love scoring, we love attacking, and our mentality is we just got to keep attacking?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, probably it's something that we should discuss with the coach. How can we defend better? How can we be more compact in these situations, and how to use our experience to don't receive goals in this situation. But as I said before, I think it's better to analyze the video again, to watch the game with the coach again, and I'm sure that he will find a solution and he will find the mistakes that we did so they don't happen again in the future.
Well, what would you say to him?
Yeah, I will say that, as I say, I think the experienced players, as me, for example, we should know better, or should we read the game better, so they don't have the chance to create this fantastic goal. Because at the end of the day, it was a very good individual action from a player, but I think we could avoid the ball to arrive to this situation in the last seconds. And I think if the experienced player could arrange the situation before it happens, it will solve a lot of problems.
Well, they shouldn't have subbed you off.
Yeah, look, I was struggling with my feet. I have 2-3 different blisters on my feet, and I was trying to stay on my feet and trying to finalize the game. But I saw that they're gonna do the last substitution, and I say, okay, I think I cannot run on my best the last few minutes. Better to sub now that I have time, and fresh legs will run better than my legs.
Oh, very unselfish of you. And mate,
blisters.
Yeah, just a question. And look, I get a little frustrated, but in the first half, I couldn't believe the handball wasn't paid. Now, I think you were pretty close there too. You had a word to the ref. Why wouldn't he go to the VAR on that occasion? Because everybody looked at the replay and went, well, there it is. It's hit his hand.
Yeah, I don't understand, to be honest. I asked to the referee the same question because I saw the replay in the big screen, and it was, for me, was very obvious. But in his opinion was that the hand was close to his body, and it wasn't intention from him to play the ball.
So
but my answer was he touched the ball 2 times, not 1, 2 times with the hand. So for me, it was very, very obvious that, of course, you need to respect the opinion and the decision from the ref.
Well, shortly afterwards, we got a penalty, and Hiroshi got on the board. I was so happy for him. He found the net twice with a nice header in the second half as well. That was good for his confidence.
Yeah, 100%. He's a very good player, but sometimes the strikers they need the momentum, and his momentum wasn't going in his way in the last few games. He was having a few chances, but he couldn't have the scores that he likes. But yeah, look, he's an important player for us, and we are very happy that he scored a couple of goals, and we hope that now he will have more confidence.
And bit of a bummer, Josh Cavallo, he did his Achilles, I believe. Do you know how serious that injury is?
It looks bad. It's very unfortunate for us. It looks bad, but I think he's having a scan tonight to confirm how bad is the injury. But it's not looking good at the moment, I think.
What a real bummer for Josh and the team. Mate, all the best against Melbourne Victory. The sun shines there. We're equal second. Beat the Victory, we could jump to second. So go for it, mate.
I hope so. We will try our best, as always.
Well done. He's a ripper. He is.
Thanks for your time, mate.
Go, you Reds. We can win the championship. We get it right. That was one that got
Well,
away.
the thing is, they can score. And I'll tell you, Rowie, I took my youngest daughter with me, and she's never been to a Reds game. She's hooked. She wants to go every week. She just absolutely loved it. She said the atmosphere was incredible. She loves the Red Army chanting away, and, when they point to the East Stand and the West Stand, United, Adelaide, United. She got into it all, just thought it was fantastic. And we were so up, and I don't think I've seen the stadium like it. So up. That heartache at the end just left us all flat. But I tell you what, afterwards, it was their first sort of kick they allowed the kids on. The kids were chanting, open the gates, because the opposition were doing their warm down. And anyway, they let them in, and they just ran thousands on Cooper Stadium. It was a great sight.
Wonderful.
How come every Spanish person sounds like Rafa Nadal?
Well, I tell you what, it's a good accent. I like it. Yeah, it's one I'm thinking about taking up.
Yeah, Pembo can speak Spanish.
There you go.
Let's go to Phil at Bellevue Heights. Phil, you want to talk about Jack Ginnivan?
I do, Rowie. Yeah. In a way, I mean, the penalty handed out of Ginnivan, he'll stay with Collingwood.
Yep.
The penalty handed out to Stenglein and Crouch, it cost the club 2 players, I believe. It just seems like chalk and cheese. 2 different interpretations. I mean, this guy was caught with white powder on a video. The other 2 guys from our club were supposedly going to buy white powder. It just seems there's a total, I don't know, it's just frustrating to think the way we're treated here, and over the border it's a different kettle of fish.
Well, it's not how we're treated here, it's how we treat our own.
I think they still got 2 games each, didn't they?
Yeah,
Stengel got 4, Brad Crouch got 2.
Because he had history, and then Stengel goes off to Geelong in a better environment that wrapped their arms around him, and he goes on to be an All-Australian and kicks 4 in a grand final, and bores it right up Adelaide's Wahoosie.
Yeah, the rules are the rules for any player in the AFL, but Jan has a view on it. This is word for word on the Foodland text. I believe the drug policy of the AFL is pathetic and dangerous. Peter Bowl served a longer time out of his sport waiting for a clear test than Jack has gone and he's guilty. The secrecy re-drugs in the AFL did work for Cousins, Chick and Mainwaring. Well, actually, it didn't, did it? Don't think it matters if it's performance or party. Also, Jack didn't answer the question, have you done it before? And that's true, he did give an answer that wasn't anywhere near it. So his answer is society today, said Jan. There's a lot in that, isn't there? There's a lot in that.
There's a lot to unpack.
And I'm a bit with it. It doesn't, for me, it's, and I don't like the word party being used with drugs.
No.
Because then that sort of encourages it, if you like.
It wrecks lives, it wrecks families,
it's illicit.
It kills people, and
Correct.
it's actually illegal. Let's
It's
not
illegal.
forget that.
Correct.
It is actually illegal.
Yeah, good call.
This is Jack Ginnivan being asked about whether he'd done it before.
Have you done it before? Like I said before, it's an issue in society, so I know this thing always happens around me, but like I said, I'm here to reflect on the now.
At least he owned it.
But he
didn't say, I've got mental
It's an issue in
that.
society, in other words. Lots
gives
of people
it
are
a
doing it. Yeah. Not a great answer, but...
Get rid of it. Either toughen it up, stiffen it,
or just
and make it a deterrent,
scrap it.
or just damn well get rid of it.
And then anything you test for...
Stop pussyfooting around, AFL.
And it's just, you test it and that's it, no strike policy.
And I think a lot of it's got to do with the AFLPA. The AFLPA are the ones that govern all of this, and they put the players' interests at hand. So they put all these little softings around it. Listen, if you self-report, no strikey. Yeah. If you, and I read it out at the start of the show, it's the limpest bloody policy ever. Oh, and if you've got mental health, just go to your doctor and just say, look, if you get caught. So I've been caught. I don't know, I snorted some white powder up my snout. There's a bloody whatever. No, listen, I've been under pressure. My mental health.
What you're saying is there's too many outdoors.
Of course
there's too many
is.
outdoors. And when you got an outdoor, you go through it.
And sadly, the weaker player, the non-professional player, and there are players that do that. I'm not saying that I was or I wasn't, but I'd be more in that category than the absolute elite athlete. They're going to fall foul. They're going to slip up. They're going to stuff up. And most of them say when the beer goes in, the brain goes out. So I ain't throwing stones, but fair dinkum. Make it a deterrent.
2 minutes to 5, Nathan Bassett from Port Adelaide to join us after the 5 o'clock news.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. Join 5AA each night from midnight for Australia Overnight.
Hi, it's Tony Moclair here, host of Australia Overnight. Thrilled and delighted, joined by listeners from 5AA, Adelaide's best radio station.
Tony Moclair takes your calls right through the early hours.
And those listeners contributing to the Australia Overnight program and being part of the larger family.
Catch Australia Overnight.
Welcome aboard 5AA.
Live from midnight on Adelaide's 5AA.
We love our vast, rugged country, but out here is no place to break down. For 50 years, the team at Terrain Tamer have been engineering, testing and manufacturing off-road four-wheel drive parts. Over this time, we've learnt what is reliable and how we can strengthen a vehicle to ensure a safe journey. With Australia's largest range of four-wheel drive parts, we're the four-wheel drive specialists. So you can be sure no matter where you are in Australia, the Terrain Tamer team will be there to help you get home. With Terrain Tamer, you're in safe hands.
Kia EV6 GT, a sleek, pure electric supercar. Enjoy your flight. The Kia EV6 GT.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Smack on 5. When it comes to hearing aids, I think we'd all agree you shouldn't have to pay sky-high prices for high-tech features. So Specsavers have done something about it. They've done something special for us.
Oh, have they what?
Who can't hear. Hello.
The Specsavers Advanced range come with the latest technology and features you'd expect at a price that you can afford.
Specsavers also offer everyday low prices and provide upfront pricing on hearing aids, which can be viewed online right now. That makes it easy to shop around to find the great value that you deserve.
Okay, you're thinking, what's the next step? Well, this is what you do. Let a qualified Specsavers audiology professional work with you to find a hearing solution that suits your needs, lifestyle and budget. Now that sounds good. Get the pun? Sounds good.
Now, I am deaf. I would do anything to be able to hear out of that right here. No, they can't. I've got what's called conductive deafness. The nerve between the brain and the ear's dead.
Oh, dear.
There's a couple of other nerves.
Well,
that
you've
don't
opened the
work
door
as
there.
well.
Oh, my goodness.
So to book an initial free 15-minute hearing check or to view our everyday low prices, do this, please. Do it now. specsavers.com.au/hearing. Do it this afternoon. T's and C's apply. Like I said, I wished I could. Hello?
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Mostly clear tonight, low of 20 with the 5 o'clock news. I'm Michaela Kamara.
10-year warranty and 10-year capped price servicing at Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Elizabeth.
A man has died after falling from a boat on the first day of a Port Lincoln sailing event. Race management received a mayday call just after 11 this morning. Crews jumped into the water, retrieving the 60-year-old's unconscious body. Paramedics worked on the man at the scene, but he couldn't be saved. There are no suspicious circumstances surrounding his death. A firearm has been seized and a teenager reported after an alarming social media post. Police were notified after the 14-year-old boy allegedly posted a picture of a gel blaster on Snapchat along with the comment "shooting Playford up" in reference to Playford International College. His home at Elizabeth Downs was searched and the gel blaster found. The boy's been reported for creating a false belief and possessing a firearm without a licence. The federal government argues early access to superannuation savings must be tightened. Treasurer Jim Chalmers will introduce legislation outlining the specific purpose and objective of super. He argues the previous coalition government undermined the $3 trillion scheme. Dr Chalmers says workers deserve a comfortable retirement.
It moved us further away from where we need to be, which is better living standards in retirement for as many Australians as possible. Legislating super's objective will change that because for the first time we'll have a true north, a shared goal that we can work towards together.
A national week of action is being held in support of the Indigenous voice to Parliament. The Yes campaign will officially launch in Adelaide on Thursday. Later this year, Australians will vote in a referendum to decide whether the advisory body should be enshrined in the Constitution. But federal opposition leader Peter Dutton says there's still not enough detail about how it would work.
I think, to be honest, we've been pretty reasonable in our approach. We've said we're absolutely determined to get a better outcome for Indigenous Australians. But we want to understand that this model is going to provide that better outcome.
The Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade is providing consular assistance to the family of an Australian man killed by a shark in New Caledonia. The 59-year-old was swimming off a crowded beach in Noumea when he was attacked. He was pulled from the water and returned to shore but couldn't be saved. Australian firefighters deployed to Turkey to help in earthquake recovery efforts say the situation is like nothing they've ever seen before. 46,000 people have been killed as a result of the tremor which rocked the country in neighbouring Syria. Scott Hanley is one of the team leaders helping with rescues. He says it's an experience he'll never forget.
Normally you would sort of get used to the scene, and on other deployments you get used to the work, but here it's the scale of it is just so vast. It's really hard to put into words. I've never experienced anything, even on TV, like the vision we saw before we departed. It just cannot prepare you for what we faced driving in each and every morning.
Now turning to 5AA sport, and Pat Cummins is not expected to miss the third test against India despite flying back to Australia. The Australian test captain returned home for personal reasons after yesterday's heavy defeat in Delhi. He will link up with teammates later in the week to resume preparations for the third test beginning on March 1. South Australia is currently 4 for 59 in reply to Victoria's total of 169 runs on day one of a Sheffield Shield game at the Junction Oval, and Essendon, Hawthorn, Port Adelaide and Sydney have been granted AFLW concessions for the next season. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Hillcrest, a crash, North East Road near Innes Road. Parallel, a larger crash there causing a few delays, Kings Road near Nesta Street. Busy right now, South Road at Karata Park, and we've got a few works which are slowing things up at Bedford Park. 2 lanes closed and speeds reduced on the Southern Expressway. Cameras made towards Lockleys and mostly streets at Glenelg South. Lots of small jobs to do. Bunnings Warehouse can help you get them done this Fix It Feb. Small jobs, big change. Visit your local store at bunnings.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota forklift advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Mostly clear tonight, a low of 20. Sunny tomorrow, 35. Wednesday, mostly sunny, 38. And Thursday, mostly sunny and a top of 39. Right now, it's 33 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
School shooting threat. Police swoop on a northern suburb student. Why health authorities say adult South Australians should get a COVID booster jab. The new rules that could shut the door on Australians tapping into their super early. Plus the push for junk food warning labels. Is it a step too far? I'm Brenton Raglas. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
G'day, it's Merv Hughes here. After years of snoring like a train, the missus sent me for a CPAP Direct sleep test. I'm sleeping quiet and waking up refreshed.
Sleep easy when you get away with the tiny ResMed Air Mini Travel CPAP and Mask Package from CPAP Direct. On sale for only $1,245 this month, plus a bonus $50 FBOS gift card. Free setup and support at your local CPAP Direct.
Find your local store at cpap.com.au.
Moving into a retirement village can be a big adjustment and buying a unit can be prohibitive. So here's an alternative, renting. At Riverbank Village in the heart of Mount Barker, they offer quality rental accommodation for seniors. That's right, rental accommodation. No entry or exit fees and no hidden costs. Just one fortnightly payment, which includes 3 meals daily, weekly linen service, reverse cycle aircon and social club. Secure, safe, friendly and close to shops. To find out more, go to riverbankvillage.com.au or call 8391 0449.
Tackling cancer takes all of us. We're here for all Australians affected by cancer. Call 13 11 20 for cancer information and support. Cancer Council. All of us against cancer.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
7 minutes after 5. Lots of time for your calls. 8223 0000. We're going to speak to Nathan Bassett from Port Adelaide shortly. Pre-season footy, it's only around the corner. We have $1,400 for our mystery moment to give away, and we'll also be speaking to the SA Scorpions who are into the WNCL final, Ebba-Nabro, later on in the program.
Yes, well, Friday night was trial game night. Internal trial it was, and to summarise it, we've got the Port Adelaide defensive coach on the line, Nathan Bassett. G'day, Bass.
Hi, Tim.
Hey, mate, your assessment on the game. I had a look at Chad's little media conference afterwards. Your assessment the same as his? He seemed a little bit grumpy.
It probably wasn't as pleasing to the eye offensively as we would have liked, but looking back at the game, there's, defensively we look pretty well organised, and certainly the white team, which were probably more the possibles than the probables, they took it right up to the black team around the contest.
I did notice that you had both Tom Cleary and Mackenzie in the white team. Was that to challenge our key forwards?
Not so much. I think both of them have had compromised pre-seasons at times. I mean, Trent's been pretty good, but he was only just back for the game. I think we're certainly tossing up whether we go with 2 talls or 3. Ryan Burton's taller than all of them, so he can play tall as well. And we've got some, Jace Bergwijn looked very good.
Yes.
We've got Kane Farrell playing down back as well. So we've got some sort of people that can either use it or win it, and we're just seeing whether it's 2 or 3 or, who's playing best, really.
The things you're working on, did you see it? Did you like it? Or is it still work in progress?
Oh, I think we've seen lots of it. I think the reality is we play a part of an internal trial nearly every training session.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's 84 minutes and sometimes it's 40 minutes, and, the other day it was 4 by 25 minutes. Sometimes those afternoon sessions aren't quite as attractive because the wind gets up and it's a bit harder to kick it effectively to a teammate, and it was one of those nights where it was a little bit harder for us to kick it effectively to a teammate, and that's why it made it a little bit less of a spectacle. But we've seen a lot of good things during the pre-season, so we're pretty comfortable with where we're at.
What are some of those things?
I think we've got a really nice balance of ball users and ball winners through the mid part of the ground. I think defensively we're certainly looking to improve our aerial assist and intercept marking. And, there's good growth in the forward line. Todd and Charlie look like a really nice 1-2 combination in terms of tools, and then the chemistry between Junior and Orazio's look pretty good too.
I was going to just say, Orazio looked very sharp once again, and when that body's in good order, he's a dangerous player.
Yeah, it was good to get him through a game, and both him and Junior haven't played a heap of footy really for Junior the last 3 years, for Orazio the last 5. So to get them playing together a little bit more, and for them to complete the majority of sessions is a positive thing for us.
I think one of the great names for commentators in AFL, if he gets through and plays up the top league, Dante Vicentini. He showed a bit. I really like the look of the big fella.
Yeah, Dante's a really good young ruckman who can play forward and moves around well. What we really like about him is part of it's his size, but also part of it's his aggression. He's a very aggressive player in the contest, and to find tall people that like hitting things is pretty rare. So he's a nice combination of both, and he's getting better all the time.
Is there another way? Are internals actually worth it? There's always risk of injury. They're a bit scrappy. I mean, we say no one likes kissing their sister, Bass, or even holding hands with her. So you're a lateral thinker. You're a smart left field thinker. Is there another way?
Well, it's part of our training program, so we're doing it anyway. Part of it is the introduction to our supporters of who's playing for us for the year, and it gets people along on a Friday night, so that they get to have a drink at the club rooms and enjoy the spectacle that is Alberton Oval. It's a great place to work, and there's a bit of work going on the outer side at the moment, but certainly the member side is looking pretty good at the moment.
Yeah. So how much cred do you put on it as a coach? The older blokes, and we were all older blokes, you give 3/5 of all in these. The young ones are playing for their lives. Is it really looked upon for exactly what it is, a tune-up?
Well, yeah, we've still got people fighting for their place for a game this week and the week after. So,
there you go.
I think by the time we get to Fremantle, we're looking to pick our strongest possible side, and Friday night's part of that. And what we learn over the pre-season, I mean, there's been, there's lots of games or quarters that we play during training sessions, and this one's one where our supporters got to see it, and it probably wasn't our greatest display, which, got Chad a little bit grumpy last Friday night, and that's fair enough. I think we had those moments in the box too.
I loved it.
Thought we're better than that, but, that's fine. We've seen a lot of good stuff. The guys trained really well today, so it was a nice looking session today. And then the wind gets up in the afternoon. It's a little bit harder to kick the footy.
Okay, how's the coaching staff as a whole feel about the year ahead? In a single word, if you could sum it up in just one single word, Bass.
Positive.
Yeah, brilliant.
Good work. Hey, mate. Ollie played a half. Well, you asked one word. You got one word. Gee whiz. Hey, Bass.
You asked, I delivered.
Yeah, exactly.
Bass, you always deliver.
And he likes a one word. Now, Bass, Ollie played a half. Butters didn't play.
Yes.
Charlie, a little niggle in the hip. Will all those guys go to Perth and be okay?
Yeah, the whole team will go to Perth. Ollie's fine. So he hasn't. He's missed a lot of training. He probably only trained for about a week before the game, so he'll be on limited time again this week. And understandably, he looked a little bit rusty last Friday. Charlie's had a really good pre-season. He's been in great shape. He's got a knock in the ribs and was a bit sore, so we rested him from about halfway through the second quarter. Zach was back training today in the pink hat, so he'll be a chance to play this week, and I would have thought he'd be a certainty to play at least the week after.
And Lockie Jones went into the midfield. Really like the kid. He's explosive and the like. Is that something that perhaps is one of those things you keep up your sleeve, or is it a position that he could start in?
Well, it is a position that he could start in. It's probably part of his more medium-term growth, where we can see him playing a little bit further down the track. I mean, it's going to be pretty difficult for him to break into the side round one, but certainly longer term, his speed to get after a ground ball, to hit people, to pick it up cleanly, certainly that's been improving playing on ball. And, he's a nice counterbalance to some of the probably neater and sharper people in there. His ability to help us to cover up in defence is very good. So, yeah, we really like Lockie Jones. I mean, there's certainly some options in terms of the sub this year too, and the way you use the sub and bring them in. That you could potentially bring guys into the midfield and they could make a real difference.
Oh, he
team
would
as well.
be a super
wouldn't he?
sub. I love him. Bass, did I say if you're a little bit ginge, you wear a pink hat? I mean, a pink hat, Port?
Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, so you're not allowed to get tackled or hit in a contest.
You didn't think of a fluoro green or a teal? Isn't pink a little bit effeminate?
Well, that's perfectly fine, mate. We're
correct.
Working AFLW and AFL men's programs, so it's all good.
Hang on, Timmy, don't say. So you would have worn a pink hat if you were a little bit gingy out there at Port Adelaide?
A whole outfit, quite frankly. If they weren't going to tackle me, that would have been awesome.
Bass, you've softened too.
Bass, the last kick inside 50, it's been one thing that we've been working on for quite a while. I actually saw some nice examples the other night, and obviously some guys that have come into our lineup that are very good at it. But were you guys sort of pleased with those examples? And also Kane Farrell coming off half-back can help with that.
Yeah, we saw, we've seen some nice delivery during the pre-season. I mean, it certainly helps when your targets are learning how to get separation and when they're winning one-on-one battles. And, Todd has made a big difference probably over the last 8 months, really, in terms of his ability to get separation and win contests. Kane certainly can provide that as well off half-back. He didn't kick the ball too well on Friday night, but at least he was getting it, so that's a starting point. I've been really impressed with our wingmen, to be honest, during pre-season as well. I think Miles Bergman looks like he's ready to be, something pretty special. Xavier Dersman's been really very good, and Riley Bonner's been very good as well. So all three of those guys on the wings have had excellent pre-seasons.
Oh, that's good news. And Jake Piscini down back, I mean, the poor guy, he's had a shoulder recon, he's had a knee recon. Yeah. That was great to see him get through and play well.
It was. He's about 9.5 months, I think, post-knee reco, and he was a little bit nervous going into the game and probably hadn't had the strongest form coming out of the pink hat. Rowie, the one thing that the pink hat does give you is a license to hit people and not get hit back. So it sort of started to take that a little bit too far. So we removed the pink hat, but I thought he was very good Friday. He had some really nice contests and came off his opponent and impacted aerially and did some nice things. So it was good to see him back.
Just outside of Port Adelaide's four walls, but the general football world in itself and the local news about Ginnivan with the drug policy, Bass, and I do like your brain with all of this stuff. Is it working? Would you keep supporting it? The 3 drug strikes, the not knowing. What do you think? It's more a social policy. It looks after the player. It's no favour to the club. What do you think about it all?
Well, my responsibility is to support the players as best we can so that they're well served on field and off field. And if they're better organised off field, well then they're less likely to do stupid things. So, what the bigger picture looks like, I don't know. It's been happening for hundreds of years. So what's the bigger fix? I haven't got the answer there. But in terms of our responsibility, normally when you're running a pretty good football club, you have less of those issues.
Excellent. Well done, Bats. Thank you very much for the summary, mate, and all the best in Perth. And we'll look forward to round 1.
Thank you.
Well done, Bass. Love his chats. I'll ask you the question.
Yes.
How do you feel about the season as a Port man, a Port great, in one word? Bass's was positive. What's your one word?
Enthusiastic.
Okay. See, mine's optimistically hopeful. Which
That's
is
two words.
2 words.
Mine for Port Adelaide is fearful.
Oh, well, that's
Well,
probably that's the way you're looking at life,
the
aren't
wrong
you?
way. You're looking at the wrong way.
You're fearful of?
I am fearful that you actually get it together.
Okay.
And I mean really get it together. And have a top 4 season, and then anything can happen in finals.
And I can understand that
as a
from
Norwood man.
Yeah, and you sitting there, I can understand that because we all know that there's a very, very good playing list there now.
Oh, jeez.
And we all know that those
Swap
22 to 23-year-olds,
Yep.
as you just heard, Bergman, who's probably fitting into that category now, they're sitting there ready to go. So
I never bet.
You've got to have some
You're right.
luck. You've got to
Yeah.
have some luck with injury. We know that, but Port Adelaide should improve significantly.
I saw your face light up when Bass mentioned Bergman. He's your boy.
Yeah, I do
my
like him.
boy's Connor Rosie, because my son played with him for about 3 years and knows him really well.
Yeah.
I put a sneaky little rock lobster on him winning the Brownlow, and
Wow.
I never bet.
Yeah, you
$41.
don't. Yeah. That's amazing. Oh, please gamble responsibly.
Now, I know that that's on the back of pre-season form and an internal trial.
And you've got to get through unscathed the whole year,
That's
and all the
right.
rest of it's a long year, and that's why you get odds sometimes like that. But yes, it's look, he's a player that would definitely catch the eye of umpires, and I think it takes him a couple of years to get noticed. I think he's at that point where he could be noticed by umpires from this moment onwards.
Where's Giorgio at?
Georgiadis?
Georgiadis.
Didn't play too bad the other night.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was in amongst that mix. That Marshall looked very good. Georgiadis did his normal bit and took a couple of nice marks.
Marshall's got it all together now, hasn't he?
Yeah. What I liked was the actual ruck combination that they were rolling through.
Yeah.
So there was a bit of Teakle, there was a bit of Charlie up against Lysette for the majority of the time, and the white team and Byzantini, and so it was good to watch.
And my other fearful, this is a two-pronged fearful. You don't get it together, and my mate Ken gets boned.
Yeah, I think the club. On a serious note, I think by Kosh making the statement, we're not worrying about it till the end of August. That says to me they just want no discussion on it until the end of August.
Of course he doesn't, because he's going to have to make a tough
Because
decision.
he's the man in charge.
He's just covering his own clacker, mate.
His
own lemonade and sauce.
We're going to look
His own
forward
ginger.
to the pre-season games in about 10 minutes' time on the program between you guys. You can talk through how you feel about your teams, because they do play later this week. But if you'd like to win $1,400, let's play our mystery moment.
The 5AA Sports Show Mystery Moments.
Okay, 8223 This would be a good way to start your week. Hungry for a little getaway? Head to the Burrows and order a schnitty. Go to the draw to win a $5,000 travel voucher. T's and C's apply. Tim, our 2 clues.
West and 50.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to give you a clue. That commentary sounds... I can't give a clue because I don't know the answer. But the commentary to me sounds sort of early 80s, if not late 70s. That's maybe even 60s.
8223 Play now. If you don't win, you still get a $50 Burrow voucher. Still pretty good price.
I haven't helped at all, really, have I?
No, you haven't. 23 after 5. Here's your traffic.
Crash at Paralawi, Kings Road near Nesta Street. And we're quite busy at the moment. South Road at Anzac Highway. Got work slowing things up at Brooklyn Park, Henley Beach Road near Rolls Road, with cameras Kesters Road, Para Hills West, and May Terrace at Lockleys. Ask the hearing experts at Audica if a free 2-week hearing aid trial is right for you. Visit audica.com.au or call 1-800-HEARING. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
G'day, it's Eddie May here from NRG Solar. People buy a solar system to save money and do the right thing by the environment. So why would you buy a battery? Well, people buy a battery because they want independence from the grid. They don't want to be inconvenienced in the event of a blackout, and of course, protect themselves from future power rises. Now, electricity is going up, so whatever your needs are regarding solar and battery storage, you can rely on NRG Solar for the right solution. Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
As we all know, SA is going through a housing crisis right now, but McGain Real Estate really want to help. If you're a landlord looking to sell your property, but you're feeling a bit guilty about disrupting an awesome tenant, McGain have landlords ready to purchase your property and keep that tenant in place. The team at McGain have hundreds of landlords ready to buy investment properties, So there's no need to stress about asking the tenant to move out or waiting for the lease to end. Visit magain.com.au.
Time to find out what's making news in the Channel 7 newsroom as we welcome Rosanna Mangiarelli to the show. And Rosanna, tragedy at sea.
Certainly has been, Tim. A sailor has been killed during the Port Lincoln regatta. Reports are filtering through now that there were harrowing scenes after the man actually fell overboard, and it's understood people were frantic, just jumping in to save him before he was retrieved by a local tourism boat and rushed back to shore, but couldn't be saved. Also on the news tonight, Tim, a firearm seized, a teenager arrested over a chilling school shooting threat north of Adelaide. 2 South Australians feared dead in a plane crash in central Philippines. Red alert, SA's bracing for a searing heatwave. We've got temps over 40 coming up. The areas facing the biggest threats, going to be a shocker of a week. The big savings you could be missing out on when it comes to your weekly shop, plus why Test captain Pat Cummins is rushing home from India after Australia's embarrassing loss. It must be something pretty serious, Tim. We'll give you all the details tonight. 7 News at 6 o'clock.
Thanks, Rosanna, and all the team at Channel 7. There's only one choice. 7 News tonight at 6.
Need a forklift? Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift. Toyota is the world's #1 forklift brand with a great range of pallet jacks, walkie stackers and reach forklifts right up to their leading Toyota counterbalance forklifts. Legendary reliability and safety with cleaner, greener electric options. Toyota can tailor the right forklift solution for you. It's all part of the Toyota forklift advantage. For more, visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Get a Toyota forklift. Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. Here's who you can support around Adelaide. See classic F1 cars, Group A, V8 supercars, alongside electric race cars and brand displays at Victoria Park, March 25 and 26. Search Adelaide Motorsport Festival. Join Brett Kavanagh and Debbie Fitzsimmons for music from the cinema and organ spectacular at the Capri Theatre, Sunday, February 26. Book at capri.org.au. With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
The 5AA Sports Show Mystery Moments.
27 after 5. We're playing our mystery moment for $1,400. It's getting up there now.
Big dollars, $1,400. The Barrow Hotel. We've got Charlie on the line. Hi, Charlie.
Hi, Timmy. Do you know, in Geelong, where I would have been in 1973, which is part of the clue to my answer, there is a T&G building, which is right in the centre of town.
Yes, I own that one.
And there's a couple of fellas that come out on a clock that ring a bell, and what they used to do was when Geelong won a flag, they dressed the 2 fellas, I think it was a farmer and a son, they'd ring a bell. They'd put them in cat's Guernseys.
Oh, wow.
And, of course, as for Rowie, I always like to sit in Rowie when I go to the footy.
Yeah,
Rowie. It was an old joke of mine.
Jeez, Charlie.
I'll tell you what.
That Geelong stuff was pretty useless.
Right, okay, so mystery moment.
Well, hang on.
And Stengel.
It's going to be linked to Western 50.
Well, it might be.
This is what he's going to do.
Okay.
It's all coming back.
50, West Adelaide.
Yes.
50 years ago, Neil Curley kicking a goal.
Really?
Which goal? Do you know which
would
moment
be
it would have been?
1973.
Which goal? Oh my!
Is there a
Does
significant?
it have to be that particular?
It is a sporting moment.
It's a
Was it
sporting
at the
moment.
Western End, Charlie?
Could be. Well, yeah. West Adelaide playing. Was he playing for West Adelaide, you reckon?
Well, I think he might have been captain coach. I'm not sure. Like I said, I wasn't around.
All right, Charlie. So Neil Curley kicking a goal for West Adelaide.
Yep.
Sorry.
No, sorry, Charlie. But thank you very much. $50 voucher, though. Go to the Barrows and get into that draw for the $5,000 travel voucher, mate. You can go back to Geelong and see the T&G building. Ring the bell. How's that?
And sit in row E.
Yeah.
I just realised the Western End, there's only a north or a south in footy, isn't it? Don't the fields run down?
Correct, they do.
Yep.
But
unless it's Prospect, that's sort of like skewed.
There's a few grounds in the amateur league that do run east-west. Not many, but I know one I can think off the top of my head. Rosewater Footy Club runs east-west.
I reckon Mount Barker looks like it runs east-west.
Yeah, it wouldn't do that nowadays when you build a new one because it was all about the evening sun coming straight into your eyes. So
right.
that was the issue.
That's why they always ran north-south. If you know of a football field that runs east-west in the suburbs, 82230000.
I reckon Morphy Parks does too.
There you go.
It does.
Yes,
it does.
Jeez, I'm sharp, aren't I?
There you are.
Got
good.
2.
Bring any more? 82230000.
One day we will catch you out. You'll be factually incorrect, and there will be one hell of a party in this sport room.
5:30 headlines.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, I'm Michaela Kamara. A man has died after falling from a boat on the first day of a Port Lincoln sailing event. The federal government maintains it's important to define the purpose of superannuation and enshrine it into law. The Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade is providing consular assistance to the family of an Australian man killed by a shark in New Caledonia. And Australian fast bowler Josh Hazlewood has been ruled out for the rest of the cricket tour of India due to an Achilles injury. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Sturt, got a car on fire, Seacombe Road near Miller Street. Paralawi, major crash there, Kings Road near Whites Road, while at Happy Valley, car v motorcycle, Winterbanks Road near Happy Valley Drive. Starting to get busy, South Road at Edwardstown with cameras today, Bridge Road, Parra Hills West and Golden Grove Road at Golden Grove. Get a read on energy prices, personal finance, lunchbox tips and new ways to stay in shape. Get a read on Today with The Advertiser. Subscribe today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Mostly clear tonight, low of 20, sunny tomorrow 35. Currently it's 32 degrees. More news at 6 o'clock and as it happens on 5AA.
5AA Breakfast.
Australians aren't happy, Rennie.
They lost 9 for 52.
That comes down to coaching, and it comes down to the captain too. But that was like some sort of suicide pact, the way they were batting.
Informing Adelaide.
It's just not a team that has any sliver of resolve. I reckon they should make Trav captain. He bats aggressively, he's a handy bowler, and he doesn't lie awake at night worrying about whether people have put the wrong sorts of things in the yellow recycling bin.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA. When you do business with Murray Lands Mazda, you're dealing with a local, a genuine family-owned company that is easy to do business with, and the best range of Mazdas at the best price in town. There's the Mazda 2, the CX range and BT50, all in stock and waiting for you to get behind the wheel. Book a test drive today online at murraylandsmazda.com.au. Murray Lands Mazda, Adelaide Road, Murray Bridge. Murray Lands Mazda.
Easy to do business with.
Hello, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years, we have specialised in commercial and residential property management. But above all, we specialise in people, helping to make life easy for property investors and the tenants of their properties. Everyone is treated with integrity and respect. That's the Lynn Andrews way. For commercial and residential property management, we are here to help. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
Now, Rowie, when it comes to hearing aids, and I know that you will definitely agree with this, exactly, you shouldn't have to pay sky-high prices for high-tech features. So I'm letting you know that Specsavers has done something about it.
The Specsavers Advanced range come with the latest technology and features you'd expect, well, at a price you can afford.
Because that's the scary thing. You think, oh, you're going in, it's going to be really dear. Well, it's not. Specsavers also offer everyday low prices and provide upfront pricing on hearing aids, which can be viewed online right now. So get online, check it out, and you'll know what you're up for. That's making it easier to shop around and find the great value that you deserve.
So you're probably sitting there, well, what's the next step? Here's what you do. Get a qualified Specsaver audiology professional, work with you to find out a hearing solution that suits your needs, lifestyle and budget. Now that does sound good.
All right,
Hello.
That's it. Good one. To book an initial free 15-minute hearing check or to view our everyday low prices, head to specsavers.com.au/hearing. Do it this afternoon. And don't worry, TCs apply.
Tackling cancer takes all of us. We're here for all Australians affected by cancer. Call 13 11 20 for cancer information and support. Cancer Council. All of us against cancer.
What's got Mike singing? Mike just got an energy-efficient heat pump installed by EcoVantage. Not only is it using nearly 80% less energy than his old hot water system and saving hundreds off his power bills, he got it for free.
Thanks to federal and SA government incentives, you can get your own energy-efficient heat pump from just $0. Pump your energy bills down with EcoVantage. Visit ecovantage.com.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
25 minutes to 6. Still got lots of time for your calls. 8223 0000. We've got texts coming out of our ears at the moment on the Foodland text line. Facebook and YouTube, you can watch the live stream as well. 8223 0000.
Well, we've opened a can of worms.
Yes, we have.
Have we? What? I tell you, it's one of those quirks. Now, most grounds, as we were mentioning, run north-south.
North-south.
And there's a few that I mentioned that run east-west. Now, Rosewater Footy Club I knew of, and Morphy Parks, and then I thought, well, see what comes up. Straight away, the bosses messaged in and said, this is our boss, Craig Munn, straight in and said, the MCG runs east-west.
And I went, no.
I wouldn't have a clue. I would not have had a clue, but I could see Ben from Seaview Downs as Foodland text in. He said, MCG runs east to west, so it's backed up. I can't believe that.
So why did we give them the grand final till 2056?
Yeah, I know. You're going to have the sun in your eyes for another 100 years.
Timmy, it's crooked.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
The deal was crooked and the G's crooked.
But it's amazing. Some of these grounds still exist. So let's go to Sean at Tea Tree Gully. G'day, Sean.
Hey, fellas, how are you?
Do you know one that runs east-west?
Yeah, I definitely know of one. It's the Unley Jets on Unley Oval.
Oh, the Jets.
They definitely run east-west. You can pop the footy straight over to Unley Road if you want to.
Beautiful.
Actually, that must happen a lot, Sean. It must happen a lot.
It does, and I think, I haven't been out to this oval for a while, but I'm pretty sure FIVEAA Football Club do the same.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, I played there as a
Sean.
kid. I reckon you're right. Sean, couple of beauties there.
Foggy Murdoch coached Paraka. So if you're from Paraka and it runs east-west, confirm that for us.
Good call. Mark, g'day, Mark.
G'day, boys. Seaton Oval on Westlake Boulevard.
Westlakes Boulevard? What's the name of the oval?
Seaton Oval.
Oh,
Seaton. Oh, the Ramblers. Of course they do. Of course they do.
I drive past that on...
Well, all your career going down to Footy Park, you would have seen it.
It does too.
It does too, and it's a big deck too. Great get, Mark.
Yeah,
good on you, Mark.
There, but I played cricket there, and just on cricket, I know Paddy Cummins is in a bit of a personal tragedy or whatever, but he may as well stay in Australia and let Steve Smith captain that team. Because he's definitely not a captain from what I've seen over the last two tests.
It hasn't been good. I think his field placements have been a bit dodgy and he should have bowled himself a few times. Mark, thanks for that. Didn't Scotty Hodges coach at Seaton?
Yeah, absolutely. Ramblers, yeah.
The old Ramblers. Hello, Clayton at Mile End. What oval runs east-west?
It's the Plimpton Bulldogs.
Oh, yes.
And I'm pretty sure Payne and Norwood Union do as well.
I thought of Payne and Norwood Union.
Yes, it would. Wow,
That's
there's
Macca's
more than I
ground.
thought, isn't there?
Clayton, where's the Plimpton Oval? Where's that at?
On the east side of the Morpheville Racecourse.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that is east-west. I know that one well.
Yeah.
Hey, good on you, Clayton. And, yeah, Norwood Paynham Union.
There's
is
a lot
east-west.
more than I thought. That's incredible.
Well, there's
See,
a lot of crooked.
Yeah. Well, Yuri, you got another one?
Yeah, actually, I had three. I was all excited. The guy just said two of my three.
Well, Yuri, you can still get a 50. Give us the third for the Quilella.
Kingswood Football Club.
Which one?
Kingswood on at the beginning of Belair Road, just over Crossroad there. That goes.
Yeah, that's Unley Oval. Sorry, the Unley Jets.
Only
That's the Jets.
Nah,
Yeah.
you're north from
Sorry,
three,
I thought it
Yuri.
was I didn't know the name, but I played football there years ago.
Yuri, you didn't even get the Quinella, which is 2. I was after the trifecta. You got 0.0, Yuri, but
Hang
thank
on,
you.
I said the right ground. I just said the wrong name. It is whatever it's called. That is I was correct with the ground. Just got the right name wrong.
Yuri, you're 3 from 3. I'll give you a $50 Pals voucher. Good on you. Thanks for calling and being interactive.
I don't know that anybody has...
He went from nothing to a $50 Pals voucher.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Has anybody ever got that before?
No.
Yeah, for not contributing?
No,
Prince
he
Alfred.
sort of did.
Prince Alfred's ground, the main ground that goes east to west.
It does too.
Along the road. And so CBC just in town by the straight that usually go down. By the
Which one's Prince Alfred use? I thought that was the Park 29.
Oh, the parks are different, but the actual school
no, their
itself,
main ground
school
in
itself.
front of the school is east-west.
Yep.
Is it?
Another great get.
Wow.
There's lots of them.
I would have missed that one.
Well, no, you had to... Well, Yuri, it's not his fault he was the 5th caller.
No, it's not his fault.
He had all
mate.
3,
Oh,
and he
good
would have been
point.
3 from 3.
He was unlucky. He was unlucky.
Hello, Dave.
Yeah, g'day, fellas. Just a quickie on the ground to run east-west. In the 70s, I used to work on the Gabba on the ground staff before the new ground, and when they played the footy there, that was east-west, and the cricket was north-south.
Wow. So all cricket is north-south, isn't it?
They try to because they don't want the sun
pitches
behind the
go
arms.
north-south.
Yep.
And all football
But when
fields
they
should
played
be
the footy in the old
north-south.
QAFL, it was east-west.
Thank you, Dave. Well done. A little bit of history there. He was a curator.
So the difficulty of the pitch, of course...
He was the
where
Les
it's
Burdett
placed.
of the Gabba.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, you're a Ranella boy. That is a north-south oval, isn't it?
Yep, traditionally
Of course.
north-south.
Right.
We were just talking before about Kingswood Oval, that being the only Jets footy ground. Because the footy ground goes one way, that east to west, they can't play cricket that direction. So the pitch is north-south, but it's so skinny
Short
that
ground.
the boundary line actually runs into the fence.
Oh, wow.
And the sight screen is actually in the field of play.
There you
so
go.
if you hit the ball down the ground, you hit the sight screen wheels, it's 4. And it might be 4 metres short of the boundary rope.
Well, Prospect Oval is north-northeast to south-southwest.
Yeah, good call.
There's no other oval like that.
Actually, the two goals are in different
I
positions.
have never played a decent game on that deck.
Thebby
Hello,
Oval's on
Matt.
that 45.
Matt?
Yeah, how we going? We've got Harlow Cove South Primary School, which is the Cove Cricket Club. That's facing the train line and the beach. So there you go.
So, Matt, just on that, we were just talking about cricket not wanting to be that direction because of the
sun.
The sun. What goes on there? So you wouldn't want to be batting at about 5 p.m.
Well, the one thing is they call it the postage stamp oval because it's about 20 metres to the 6th boundary, so off you go anyway. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Great story, Matt. Thank you. Let's go to Williamstown. Sam.
Hey, the home of Shed Wren is east-west facing. It's Arno Bay footy ground.
Oh, Arno Bay, really?
Yeah.
There you go.
We spoke to Cookie in the fishing show last Friday from Arno Bay.
Yeah.
He's got the biggest snapper hanging on the wall. It's 2 metres long, Sam, and about 28 kilo.
Wow.
Sounds like a 3 metre flathead, eh?
He must have pumped it. A 3 metre flathead, Sammy. You're a legend. Well done,
well
mate.
played, mate.
Hey, now, that was good fun. Keep them coming in. We still want to get clarification on Paraka Oval if it does run
I just looked it up. So it's on a 45-degree angle.
Okay.
So it sort of goes the whole southwest.
It was. I can remember playing there as a kid, and I'm pretty sure maybe they've just changed the oval directions a little bit, but. Dwayne Russell was playing against him in junior footy.
He's the best player to come from there.
He was
David Payne.
He was a bit older than me, but he was about 8 foot taller, and still is. And but he booted one, and it went down into the creek. There was a creek at the back of the goals, and it went down into the creek. So as kids, we'd wait for the bigger kids to play, and we'd be in the creek getting the ball out and retrieving it back.
Stop it. Hey, can we do this just quickly, Timmy? Well, not quickly. We want to spend some time on it. Give me a bit of a wrap on Port's trial on Friday, please.
Look, both Bass and Chad weren't far off the mark as far as what they were describing. It's an internal trial. It was scrappy. Yeah. The one thing that I think Chad Corns mentioned that pricked my ears up was we've been training to play a lot more direct, and we got trapped into being very indirect. Okay. He said that is not what we're after, and believe me, that's not the way we want to move the ball. So I sort of, on the back of that, thought to myself, well, I'm really pleased to hear that, one, but two, I think there's a few, Orazio coming back in, and having Rioli back in, and Farrell coming off half back, that excites me about kicking it inside 50. That gets me excited.
They call it midfield forward transition, the most important kick in a game of AFL.
Correct.
The most important.
Something that I think we've battled with at times, and I think that this will be one that we've seen. I think, Chad himself, I know a lot of people had maybe high expectations of Jason Horne-Francis, and it will come. Just remember, he's only been training full-time with the group for a month, but Chad said he was a little quiet.
Jace was quiet. He was forward a lot. I'm not sure if that was intent with the rotations, but found himself forward for extended periods. He had a couple of nice moments, but Jason's credit, he's had a really good month on the track since his return from injury. Stood out on the track, so he wasn't the only one today. I thought the white mids pretty much dominated the black mids, and their hunt and their desperation was a lot stronger than the black mids. We're going to need to be better as a team going forward.
Well, he's not happy, is he?
I do like him. Have you seen his goatee?
Oh, has he got a goatee?
Oh, he's got a little goatee going.
Good on him.
Yeah, he might want some advice on that. Yeah.
From who? From you? You fashionista?
I'd get the clippers to it.
Really? What's it too big?
He's got a, he's
Is it G.
he's been a
McIntosh?
good-looking rooster all his life. Don't put that on there now.
Is it G. McIntosh type?
Yeah, it's got a little bit of but more of a point to it than Macca's did.
Goodness me. So this has got to do with the internal trial and how they're all going, is it? Or?
No, just a bit of fashion advice. You're right.
Okay.
Fashionista.
Okay.
Like it.
Do you want me to do crows?
Absolutely.
I've got 4 or 5 takeouts from the internal. Now, these, I watched the game, all but in its entirety, here whilst we were on air, because we had it live, which I think you can do this Friday and Saturday, can't you?
You can. So the AFL's confirmed today that all match sim games and practice matches this week will be streamed on KO and broadcast on Foxtel, which is great news for fans.
And the Port game will be played in 6th, and the Crows game will be played in 7th.
Can you believe that?
Not quarters. Not quarters. They're not quarters. Don't start that again.
7 sevenths. 7 sevenths.
Correct.
Yeah, Blakey, 7 sevenths.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can do the ice hockey version where they have 3 periods.
Yes.
So you can have 6 periods, you can have 7 periods. That's
many
okay,
periods as you want.
I believe.
Okay. Taylor Walker's still the Crows' best player.
Yeah.
Now,
right.
that's either a positive or a negative, any way you want to look at it. If the midfield can connect with him, and that midfield forward connection is where we want it to be, I'm optimistically hopeful. But to him out there is fantastic. Isaac Rankin and Josh Rosselli, tag team out of the middle, excites me.
That's actually a good combo to run through, I reckon.
Neither of those boys have done a lot of midfield stuff, whether it be in juniors, through the seniors and now. But it's as good a time as any to do it, and I like it. They're both a pure class. I think Isaac ended up kicking 5 3/4, and Josh Rosselli is just fantastic. I think Isaac will end up our next cult figure.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to put any pressure on him, but, you know, he's got a good
Well,
chance to.
it's normally the crowd that...
He's exciting me.
The crowd
They'll pick
dictate
it
that,
themselves.
don't they?
They'll pick it
Exactly
themselves.
right. They normally do it.
His crumbing is elite. His goal sense is frightening, and he's got various weapons like Eddie, and I don't want to compare him to him, and I'm not doing that, but...
No.
If you didn't get Eddie on the ground, he got you in the air. If he didn't get you in the air, he got you with his clevers. He's just got that about him, Isaac, so I hope he can show that. Rory Sloane, for me, is a positive. He played on the wing. It was an itsy-bitsy part, but he was on the wing, and he's starting to find it. And I think if he can have a decent year, it's like a new recruit. Didn't play much last year. The midfield, for me, is going to be my bone of contention. It's going to cause me anguish. But if I continually see Jake Saligo through there, Berry's a sort of player that every mid wants a mix of him, but the problem with the Crows, have got too many like him, but I want Berry in there. Schomburg, please, please, please go next level, because he has breakaway weapons that I like. Play Pedler through the midfield. Rosselli and Rankin I mentioned. Scott Burns can get that midfield clicking, and clicking's probably the word for it. You know, I'm going to have an optimistically hopeful year. And that's the words that I've got. They got Freo as a contender Friday night. They got Eagles, who was a pretender Friday week. I think I want to be a team that doesn't scrap, and opposition teams, when they scout us, say, hey, listen, if you're not on, they might get you this team.
Yeah.
You know, they got Melbourne, they got Bulldogs and those.
But
I want them to attack more.
Last year, you saw them scrapping and fighting and then there'd be 10 minutes of a quarter where they would get
blown away,
blitzed, and that's the difference.
So, and I think that you've got to coach that. You've got to get a mentality of the team. Hey, listen, we've got weapons, we've got a good forward line. Let's attack more. Let's get it in there, and away we go. And that'll make me optimistically hopeful, I think.
I think, too, with Isaac Rankin, it just gives you more confidence to get it in there quick.
Here's Scotty Burns.
When you go against an opposing AFL club, the intensity goes up a fair bit, and I'd say at this stage we probably need the 8 quarters to make sure we're cherry ripe for round 1, so we'll be doing all we can to prioritise players that we think need game time.
Yeah, there you go. Just to cap it all off, the Foodland text. Row. Craig Bradley was the best player from Paraka. Correct. no, I forgot about that.
Very good player.
Correct.
Very good player.
Correct.
Dwayne Russell and Alan Didak was another one that came out of Paraka.
Another one just from Mark from Marion. He says, boys, Millerton Oval on the York Peninsula runs east to west as well.
What above it?
Bridgewater
Ginnivan's choppers go west to east, just like a grand piano.
I've got a story about that, actually.
Timmy.
I do have a story about
you
that.
You have got a good set of choppers.
So I was only 18. I got on the league list for the first time, and I was in the change rooms.
Okay.
And Dwayne Russell was in the rooms, and he was getting changed. And Bomber Clifford walked in, who's a character, as we know. And Dwayne took his jumper off, and he had big zit on his back.
Ooh.
And anyway,
a white cap?
Bomber looked over.
Yeah.
Bomber looked over and said, oh, God. He said, you're the only bloke that I know that's got a map of the Flinders Ranges on his back. Well, I burst out laughing. I thought that was funny, and Bomber was like, yeah, this is good. And then Dwayne quickly turned to him, and Bomber was going bald at the top of his head, you know, the friar tuck. And he said, and you're the only bloke that I know that's got a map of the Simpson Desert on his head. And I started laughing. And then Bomber turned at me and said, what are you laughing at, piano mouth?
10 to
so
6.
he's right.
Check the traffic.
At Sturt, got a car on fire, Seacombe Road near Miller Streets. Paralawi, major crash, Kings Road near Whites Road. Happy Valley, got a car v motorbike, Windy Banks Road near Happy Valley Drive. And we're starting to get busy South Road as you're driving through Edwardstown. Busy at the moment, Brooklyn Park, Henley Beach Road near Rolls Road for works, with cameras Main North Road, Mawson Lakes, and Kester's Road at Parry Hills West. Order the new Samsung Galaxy S23 series of Telstra and get bonus credit when you trade in an eligible phone. Ends March 20. Trade in by Kingfisher. Eligible service required. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. 5AA's legend of the airwaves, Leon Biner, joins Matthew Pantelis Friday mornings. Leon shares his thoughts on what's going on in SA. Save $2,000 a year on your mortgage guaranteed, or they'll give you $500. Mortgage Saviour. Visit mortgagesaviour.com.au.
Order the McValue bundle at Macca's today. A choice of your favourite burgers, together with fries and drinks for just $26.95. Did we just find something the whole family can agree on? Available between 10:30am and midnight at participating restaurants. See our website for details.
The Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery is giving 10 lucky winners $100,000 each just for getting tickets early. Get your tickets by midnight Friday and you could win big in our 100k payday. Plus, your tickets stay in the draw for the $3.5 million grand prize. With over 50% of tickets already sold, get yours today. To see full lottery details and get your tickets, visit homelottery.com.au. Licence M14311.
It's 8 to 6, complete windscreens. They do it all. You know that, Timmy. Car, truck, bus, auto glass, front, back, sides, quarters, door glass. We do it all. Still have the best price, delivery and service. No one can do it quicker and better.
No,
which
you're
is
right.
great. But there's some news, Timmy. There's some news.
Oh, hello.
We import our own smart glass. Now, if you don't know what smart glass is, that's rain sensors. There might be cameras in it, head-up display. It might be aerial.
Wow.
So, and I'm confident to say in this state we have the best range of smart glass. Now, as you know, Hayden and Lindsay Dean, they're the founding owners. They don't let me touch it. They don't let me look at it. They don't let me fit it. There's nothing I'm allowed to do with smart glass.
Well, they're smart.
Because it's smart glass. I'm allowed to forklift it in and out of the containers.
Yeah, of course, but don't you go near it after that.
You think, I don't know. I'm starting to get a bit concerned about the boys and how they shuffle me around.
What they do is they like you to soar with your strengths.
Yeah, which is what?
Which is nice.
Which is right. So call Complete Windscreens. We have the best range, no question. 8269 4444 or log on to completewindscreens.com.au. Don't ask for me because I'm out the back getting the smart windscreens ready for you.
Yeah.
And if you want to get a windscreen fitted and you're insured, you're allowed to pick your insurer, your repair of choice.
Some people might not know that, but you can.
Well, they can now, and they do. So call Complete Windscreens and I'll be out there on the forklift with my high vis on.
Boop, boop.
This is RB Day with more tales from the bedroom, thanks to Supercraft Bedding. Supercraft Bedding has been recycling before it was on trend. Did you know that we'll pick up your old mattress when we deliver your new one and have the old one recycled? The other day, Tim picked up a 45-year-old mattress that was made by us. Sure, it had seen better days, but what an innings. This is RB Day for Supercraft Bedding, building better beds at 42 Richmond Road, Keswick.
Something magic is about to begin. Disney and Cameron McIntosh's Mary Poppins flies into Adelaide this July for a strictly limited season. Discover the magic and undeniable wonder of this critically acclaimed new production. Mary Poppins. Book at Ticketek.
Keep your gutters free of leaves, debris and blockages with Gutter Night. Gutter Night is a high-quality, fully sealed gutter protection system that keeps your gutters clean and prevents downpipe blockages, even vermin from entering your roof space. Blocked overflowing gutters will damage your home, and the upkeep is not only time-consuming and hard, it's dangerous. Trust Gutter Night to watch over your home. Jump on Facebook and search Gutter Night South Australia. That's Gutter Night South Australia.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
5 minutes to 6. 8223 is our number. You can have your say on anything we've been talking about on the show.
East-West grounds.
Yeah,
We had a couple
tell
of
you
people
what, that's
say
been popular.
Seaton Ramblers doesn't run East-West.
Well,
it's about a 45.
We did a Google map on it, and it's a 45, but it would be more east-west than it would be north-south, let me tell you that.
PAC, an ex-scholar from PAC, said that's also not east-west.
45. Not 100%. Not 100%.
We'll take 45s.
Just on the tilt and the axis.
We'll take south-southwest to north-northeasties.
All right.
Hello, Craig at Hove.
Oh, hello, boys. How you going?
Good.
Craig.
Good. I reckon Optus Stadium was built to replicate the MCG, so it's east-west.
Well, do you think, or you know?
It's definitely the same dimensions.
I'm 98% confident, and Subiaco's the same, I reckon.
Want me to just chuck that into the fact checker?
Well, Subi was quite a thin oval, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Then it was
thin
a big
and
deck.
long.
But what you played on Subiaco, did you not?
Yeah, I can't remember if it was
You should know
east-west
that.
or
I can't
south.
remember. No.
Optus Stadium is definitely
I can't remember
yes.
what I did.
It's a yes.
Yes,
Well done, Craig.
well done.
And I'm looking
I
at...
can't remember how many tuna I caught yesterday, let alone playing on CD Oval. Thanks, Craig. Let's go to Henley Beach. Frankie boy.
Hey, Frank.
Hi, Ray and Timmy. How are you?
Good, buddy.
I feel pretty strong about this. I feel that total lack of discipline with the Australian batsmen has a lot to do with the fact that Lang is no longer the coach.
Yeah.
I couldn't see the team being so undisciplined under Langer. He had them playing really well at the time, and then since he's left, I think it's starting to deteriorate.
Well, that's what
thoughts on
happens
that?
when you get, as a player, to pick your coach.
That's it.
And your Suki Lala.
We totally disagree with players picking coaches, Frank. And
Thanks, Frank.
We reckon that's what happened. So
Yeah, they get their just desserts. Malcolm.
G'day, boys.
How are you, mate?
Look, well done on your 70 side. I personally thought there was only one selection really that I sort of disagreed with in terms of I just don't think Bob Hammond played enough footy in the 70s. If I'm picking my best ever South Australian side, sample side of all time, Bob Hammond's my full back.
Right.
But I reckon he really played at North to 73 and then a few games for Nord in 74 and 75. But the rest, I personally thought there were 7 certainties in the selections where you picked them where I don't think it can be debatable. Was Michael Graham and Roger Woodcock on the half-forward flanks, Phil Gallagher and Bruce Light on the wings, Brian Colby on a half-back flank, Michael Taylor was probably the most obvious selection in the back pocket, and Rick Davies as first ruck. Now, obviously, there's other players like Russell and Barry were going to be in the side where you picked them. Position-wise was debatable. Probably Kim Hodgson, I thought, was the unluckiest omission.
Yep.
But,
I agree with
that.
that.
It's only opinion. It's only a bit of fun.
Malcolm, we didn't pick it. The listeners picked it.
Yeah,
Our
yeah,
listeners picked that team.
That's pretty accurate then, Malcolm, according to you.
I think overall it's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, they did.
Well, Malcolm, thank you. On behalf of our listeners, to get the tick of approval
that's
from
good.
Malcolm from
That
Hod.
is good.
No, that's
well done.
That's pretty
Thanks, Rowie.
special.
Thanks for that. That's right.
Hey,
Love
Malcolm,
your work, mate.
Can you name another east-west ground? We've been
Here we
having
go.
a bit of fun with that, and you've umpired just about the whole state.
Yeah, Rosewaters.
Yeah, Rosewater. Yep.
Rosewater and Fitzroy's another one where
we haven't had
it's
that.
a bit like North Adelaide's ground. I reckon they were drunk when they were doing it. Out of a line.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, I
crooked.
reckon our old mate Grenville used to run the scoreboard at Fitzroy for a while, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they were. They did. They paid him my beers and they realised that was a very, very important decision economically.
He would have been up on that scoreboard legless, I reckon. 1 minute to 6.
Fair done, Mike.
Thanks, Malcolm.
We're going to speak after the 6 o'clock news with SA Scorpions batsman Emma Dubrow. They're into the WNCL final for a second year in a row.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
Barnacle Bill, serving South Australia with quality cooked seafood for over 50 years. Each order is freshly prepared using the finest quality seafood. Sumptuous prawns, calamari, mouth-watering butterfish and chips with Barnacle Bill's own tartare sauce. From a snack pack for one, crew pack for four, or for the whole family. Come in and see why Barnacle Bill has been serving South Australia quality seafood for over 50 years.
Fresh from the sea, it's gotta be Barnacle Bill.
Need a forklift? Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift. Toyota is the world's #1 forklift brand with a great range of pallet jacks, walkie stackers and reach forklifts right up to their leading Toyota counterbalance forklifts. Legendary reliability and safety with cleaner, greener electric options, Toyota can tailor the right forklift solution for you. It's all part of the Toyota Forklift Advantage. For more, visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Get a Toyota forklift.
It's not often you get to go behind the scenes of a home builder, especially one of Adelaide's top home builders. They're custom home builders. Their name is Beechwood Homes. So stunning Beechwood home display. The one at Blackwood Park sold. Why didn't it? They're building another one. Doesn't mean you can miss out or you want to miss out. You can get behind the scenes of a Beechwood home. Do this. Call Steve. He's a ripper at Beechwood. He'll take you there. And you get to see these masterpieces currently under construction. Nothing to hide. They want you to witness what they do. I know what they do.
Well, you've been in and under.
That's it. From the foundation to lock up, you get an incredible insight into what makes Beechwood Homes so good and, of course, one of Adelaide's favourites. They've had tradesmen with them for 20-odd years.
Yeah.
And they all like each other, so they look after each other. Hence, you get a great job.
Good
So get in touch with Steve for Beechwood Homes for a behind-the-scenes tour of a Beechwood home currently under construction. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home. Visit beechwood.com.au.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Mostly clear tonight, a low of 20. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Michaela Camaro.
10-year warranty and 10-year capped price servicing at Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Elizabeth.
Police are preparing a report for the coroner following a tragic accident in Port Lincoln. A man has died after falling from a boat on the first day of a major sailing event. Race management received a mayday call just after 11 this morning. Paramedics worked on the 60-year-old at the scene, but he couldn't be saved. The federal opposition is slamming Labor's plan to enshrine the purpose of superannuation into law. The government argues it needs to be clearly defined that super is for retirement. It's flagging tightening early access criteria and reducing tax breaks for people who have large amounts of super. Shadow Financial Services Minister Stuart Roberts says it's just another thought bubble.
The Treasurer is out this morning talking about anything other than the cost of living crisis engulfing Australians. This morning he's talking about the purpose of super. The problem is the Treasurer is talking about his purpose for super and the super fund's purpose for super, not the purpose for individual Australians.
New research has confirmed the unvaccinated face higher risks from COVID. SAMRI analysed more than 70,000 local cases and found the risk of hospitalisation is 8 times higher if not vaccinated, and the death is 5 times higher compared to people with up-to-date vaccinations. It comes as a 5th COVID shot is rolled out across the state to those over 18. Associate Professor Caroline Miller is encouraging people to get the jab, especially if they're older.
Age is really, really important. So we've known all the way through the COVID pandemic that the older you are, on average, the greater risk of having serious outcomes, so being hospitalised or having to go to ICU or even sadly dying from COVID. That continues to be apparent.
The National Yes campaign for the Indigenous voice to Parliament is underway ahead of this year's referendum. Federal politics reporter Zach De Silva has more.
Community events are being held as part of a national week of action to support the voice. The federal opposition is yet to decide its stance on the proposed advisory body. Liberal leader Peter Dutton maintains there's still not enough detail about how it would work, but he says a no vote could damage Indigenous reconciliation.
You do risk putting reconciliation back.
Advocate Thomas Mayo says Parliament will work out the detail if the referendum succeeds.
You cannot enshrine every detail in the Constitution.
The Yes campaign will hold its official launch later this week.
A review into the nation's education system is being launched amid reports teachers are leaving the profession in droves. Up to 50% of educators quit in the first 5 years. The report will also examine how state and Commonwealth authorities can work together more efficiently. Federal Education Minister Jason Clare says there needs to be major reform to ensure vulnerable children aren't left behind.
Over the next few weeks, education ministers across the country will finalise terms of reference and a team to give us the advice we need on what are the practical reforms to help children who fall behind.
Now turning to 5AA sport, an Australian fast bowler Josh Hazlewood has been ruled out for the rest of the cricket tour of India due to an Achilles injury. Captain Pat Cummins has flown home briefly for personal reasons due to a serious family illness. Cummins will return to India in time to play in the third test. Meanwhile, Glenn Maxwell has struggled on the opening day of his first Sheffield Shield game in more than 1,200 days. The veteran all-rounder was dismissed for 5 runs as SA bowled Victoria for 169 runs. At stumps, the Redbacks are 5 for 75. And 2 games in the EPL with Manchester United's hot form continuing with a 3-0 win at home against Leicester, while Tottenham jumped into the top 4 after a 2-0 win against West Ham. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Sturt, got a car on fire, Seacombe Road near Miller Street. Paralawi, major crash there, Kings Road near Whites Road. Got work slowing things up at Brooklyn Park, Henley Beach Road near Rolls Road, with cameras Bridge Road, Para Hills West, and Main North Road at Mawson Lakes. You needn't travel far in search of a little more. South Australia rewards wonder. Curious? For more information, visit southaustralia.com. For those who want a little more. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Mostly clear tonight, a low of 20. Sunny tomorrow, 35. Wednesday, mostly sunny, 38. And Thursday, mostly sunny and 39. Right now, it's 32 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
School shooting threat. Police swoop on a northern suburb student. Why health authorities say adult South Australians should get a COVID booster jab. The new rules that could shut the door on Australians tapping into their super early. Plus the push for junk food warning labels. Is it a step too far? I'm Brenton Ranglis. See the full story on 9 News, happening now.
For 2 nights only, Electric Skies will light up Buckabakanthi Victoria Park with an electrifying light and sound show featuring 500 drones. The specially created soundtrack by Electric Fields is woven with First Nations language and traditional songs. Come and experience a multi-sensory spectacle unlike any other. The centrepiece of Adelaide Fringe, Electric Skies, is not to be missed. February 24th and 25th at Buckabakanthi Victoria Park. Book now at adelaidefringe.com.au.
At Specsavers, we're all about seeing. In fact, we often like to see into the future. Seriously. Our experienced optometrists use advanced OCT 3D eye scanners that can help detect future eye problems, often before they get too serious. Yep, our modern tech is a sight for sore eyes, especially for more than 3 million Australians we care for each year. At Specsavers, our only focus is yours, so book an eye test with a free OCT scan today. Should have gone to Specsavers.
Tackling cancer takes all of us. We're here for all Australians affected by cancer. Call 13 11 20 for cancer information and support. Cancer Council. All of us against cancer.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
8 minutes after 6, Ryan Harris coming up on the program. We're going to speak to one of our Adelaide Giants who's heading overseas, Jordan McArdle, very shortly. And lots of time for your calls. 8223 0000.
Well, South Australia, we're on the verge of winning another title. Our SA Scorpions defeated the Queensland Fire to get into the final of the 50-over WNCL. And we're going to play the Tasmanian Tigers. And we've got the opener on the line, Emma DeBro. G'day, Emma.
Hello, guys.
Now, Emma, how did you go yourself and how did the team go? What did you think? Great win.
Yeah, it was a really good win. We bowled first, elected to bowl, kept them to a pretty defendable total. I think it was about 230, 240, and then went out to bat and lost a few early wickets. I sort of tried to play an anchor type role with some wickets falling around the place, but faced a fair few balls and just tried to stay out there as long as possible basically, and a lot of contributions along the way helped us get there, and then Gemma Barsby and Wello and Ella Wilson at the end kind of finished it off for us, which was really good.
Well, finished it off indeed. A great finish. How excited was everybody? And I'll tell you what, the job's only half done.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everyone was pumped. Just to get to the final again is a huge achievement. But yeah, we certainly want to go one better this year.
Here's our girl. We call her our girl, Emma. This is Gemma Barnsby because she does an internship with us and she's our skipper. Have a listen to the winning runs.
Down the track and hit straight down the ground and brings up the victory. She raises a fist in the air to Gemma Barsby and the South Australian Scorpions are into the final.
Now, we only lost 2 games for the year, both to Tassie. Now, it's got to be third time lucky, Emma.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, surely. I think we actually match up really well to them. We just didn't really put those games together when we did play against them. We played in Tassie both the games. Unfortunately, we've never really, in the last couple of seasons, we haven't played them at Karen Rolton Oval, our home ground. But, yeah, I think we do match up really well, and I think we can go one better this year.
Blundstone Arena, last 2 games you played there, they had green tops. So if you win, what will you do? If you win the toss, will you?
Yeah, I think we are a good chasing team. So, yeah, if it is anything like that, I think we can bowl first and we can defend it. So, otherwise, if it looks like a good batting track, I think we can still bat first and then defend it that way.
We had Gemma in here. We spoke to her, if you win, will you play Tassie? And she said, yeah, we'll play Tassie. I said, how good are they? And she said, gee, they're a bloody good team. They're not.
They are.
They are, but aren't they?
They're beatable though, aren't they, Emma?
Come on, Emma.
I think so. Like they've got a few big name players. Not a lot of local Tassies in there. So yeah, I think with who we've got in our team this year, I think we can really get on top of them. As I said, we match up really well. We've played we've played all our bowlers throughout the year, so I'm not sure who we're going with yet, but. Yeah, I think we've got the lineup to match it.
Now, Emma, a lot of people might not know, you're a super talented young individual. You actually represented Australia in under-21s in hockey as well. I mean, do you have to choose? What do? You play hockey during the winter and you play cricket during the summer?
Yeah, well, I'm actually coaching hockey at the moment, so I just stepped out of that session for this call. But yeah, I did kind of need to make a choice sort of towards the end of last year. It was just I kept missing like huge tournaments for hockey basically, and with COVID going on, a lot of tournaments got cancelled without the funding to support, like cricket could keep going basically through COVID, but hockey had basically no chance at that level to keep going. And then with like 2 years of a lack of competition with hockey, I thought cricket was a much better opportunity at the time, and yeah, I've stuck with that for the last couple of seasons mostly, still playing club hockey throughout winter, but yeah, cricket's been the way to go for the last couple of years.
You've obviously got great hand-eye. I don't know if you're related, but when I was a kid, I played against this lad from Findon in primary school. He was a freak. He was a great footballer, great cricketer. I think anything he put his hand to. His name was Michael DeBro. Any relation?
Yeah, that's my uncle. Yeah, I think he was really good at athletics too. So
Unbelievable. That's amazing. Well, say good day for me.
I will.
Emma, Rick Charlesworth played Shield cricket,
both.
and he was one of our best Olympians at hockey. And I remember interviewing him, and I said, "What transferred from hockey to cricket?" And he was an opener like you, Emma, and he said, "My eye stick coordination." He said, I could keep the real good balls out because in hockey, you've got to stop the ball dead on your stick.
With not much of a stick.
Not much of a stick. So would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I think it helps with playing really late in cricket as well because, like, with hockey, you want it, like, right under your eyes when you are trapping the ball. So I also play a role in hockey in defensive penalty corners where you basically stand behind the goalie and try and save anything sort of on the line. So it's really similar to batting in that aspect, which is, it's handy.
Emma, you got all your teeth?
Yeah, I do. I've never actually been hit in the mouth, which is good.
What is the player? We interviewed him in the Australian hockey. He flicks it real quick. What's
the flick?
What where you someone traps it and then he comes through and flicks it for the goal. What's that dude called again?
Well, a drag flick.
Yeah, drag flick. That's it.
Yeah. Are you good at that?
No, that's not really me. I'm more like trap it for the drag flicker or sometimes come in with a hit.
Emma de Braun.
That's her hand-eye again, see?
There you go.
There you go. Well, it's on Saturday, mate. All the best with it. Get your confidence up. Go for it straight away, and let's get that. I'll tell you what, it's a bit of a tradition on this sports show.
Oh, here we go.
If anybody wins, we get them to bring the trophy in.
Bring it in!
If it's all right with you and Gemma, we'd love you to bring it in.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think Gemma will be running it in if we win it. So.
All right.
Emma,
look forward well done. Mate. All the best. We're very proud of you girls. One game to go. We owe the Tassie, so rip into them next Saturday.
Go the Scorpions.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Emma de Bro, our guest. Isn't that fantastic? The bloke I was talking about, he was a super talent.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. Just runs through the family, obviously.
Most of these girls would have been in the Strikers team. They won the championship.
Some of them, yeah.
Some of them. Now the SA Scorpions, as we just move over to our mighty Redbacks in the Shield game, 575.
Well, they got Victoria out for 169. You go, that's a really good effort. But obviously the pitch is doing a bit. Everybody's finding it a bit hard to make runs. So, look, Jake Lehman in with Wes Agar. I think Wes has played the night watchman role. So we've got the keeper coming in, I think, next. So just hopefully we've got 94 runs to get in front of them. We've got to get in front. If we can just scratch our way there, it's game on.
And just from an Australian's perspective, Glenn Maxwell was picked to play for Victoria in this very game. His first Shield game in 4 years.
Wow.
Hasn't played since 2019.
But he also broke that ankle in the pre-season, didn't he?
So he was dismissed for 5 today.
Yeah.
So
well, when you're getting $100,000 a game to play T20, you're not going to be suiting up in a first-class Shield game, are you?
You got to be careful.
Because money talks, you know what walks.
Correct.
Wants to play some Test cricket, perhaps. It's 16 after 6.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
Today I'm talking to Glenn, who is one of Arbor Vitae's many happy customers. Hi, Glenn.
Hello, Leaf.
When did you start taking Arbor Vitae and what for?
My mild arthritis had progressively deteriorated. It was reaching the stage of me being virtually crippled. I was using a four-wheelie walker to move. A friend of mine suggested that I try Arbor Vitae, and I also heard John Laws talking about the benefits of Arbor Vitae, so I gave it a go.
That is the power of radio, isn't it? What benefits have you noticed from Arbor Vitae?
After just the first bottle, the pain went from 8 out of 10 down to a manageable 2 or 3 out of 10. I've now been using it for a couple of months, and life has really changed for the better. I tell you, if it was a religion, everybody would become a member of that church, because it's just unbelievable.
That's wonderful to hear how much of a positive impact it has had on your life. Thanks for your time, Glenn. Remember, for more info, visit arborvitae.com.au, and remember, always read the label and follow the directions for use. Stocked in chemists and health food stores all over Adelaide.
Everyone at the back, please. Sitting quietly, please. In a circle, thank you. Today we're going to talk about what we'd like to be when we grow up.
A police girl. Race car driver. I want to be a gymnast. I want to be a concreter. With Adelaide Exposed Concrete. I want to be a concreter too. Me too.
AdelaideExposedConcrete.com.au. Best on ground all year round.
What's a concreter?
Did you know that ancient Romans considered a large, noisy funeral to be a symbol of wealth? At Simplicity Funerals, we believe a funeral needn't cost the earth to mean the world. It pays to keep things simple. simplicityfunerals.com.au.
G'day, it's Eddie May here from NRG Solar. When we first thought about radio, we realised that we really didn't understand what the audience was like and what they'd like to hear from us and hear about us. And Jimmy and the creative team at AA helped develop our ads, and as a result of that, we really started to connect with the audience very quickly, and it was a really positive experience for us from the get-go. Pretty much as soon as we started on AA, it was interesting. A lot of my friends would say, I've just heard you on the radio, and I thought, I didn't think you guys would listen to AA, and that really opened my eyes to how wide the audience was.
To get your message out there and grow your business, visit 5AA.com.au and hit the Advertise with Us link for more information.
The Red Hot Summer Tour 2023 stars Paul Kelly.
I've done all the dumb things.
Bernard Fanning.
I just want to wish you
and Missy Higgins. It's an unprecedented lineup of Aussie music icons, including Mark Seymour, Vicar and Linda, Ian Moss and Troy Cassadaly. At the magnificent Kent Reserve, Victor Harbour, Saturday, March 11. Get your tickets now from redhotsummertour.com.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
20 minutes after 6, the Foodland live stream on Facebook and YouTube. You can watch every single show, and our Foodland text line's going off as well. We've been asking the question, East and West footy grounds.
Well, here's a couple, Mintaro
Yeah.
and Williamstown.
Yeah, so
That's from
Mintaro's sort of up
Up
Clare
in
Way. Yeah.
Great little town.
I was telling Sam.
My
in the
cobber
break-
Lindsay Dean lives at Mintaro. He's the
Yeah.
unofficial mayor of Mintaro.
Well, you know they
from complete windscreen.
They get a lot of slate from Mintaro.
They do.
And
World-class slate.
We had to play a pre-season game there once, and it was in Feb. And
Would have been
can I
hot.
tell you, the ground was as hard as slate.
hard.
We got Jason online. G'day, Jace.
Hello, fellas. Playing cricket at Taparoo, what used to be Taparoo High before Christmas. And batting fairly late in the afternoon, staring pretty much into the sun over the water.
Yeah.
That's East West.
Yes.
Beautiful ground to play at.
Yes. It's Ocean View College now, I believe.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
it
the
was
one.
a lovely place to play.
Yeah.
Oh, well done,
Good
Jace.
call,
Thanks
Jace.
for that. Redbacks 5 for 75. A text comes through on the Foodland text line. South Australia 5 for 75. That's what I pay for 5 UDL cans at Adelaide.
Yes, well played. I like
I
that.
love our listeners.
They're very good.
Actually, they're funnier collectively than you, Tim.
Well, and fair enough too. There's not enough humour in the world for my liking, so just keep bringing them on. I don't care.
Hello, Tom at Goodwood.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Excellent. What's going on, Tom?
I was just wondering, because I would love to be a commentator like you guys. I was just wondering, how will I get into like a commentating? Well, I got my own YouTube channel where I commentate, and I just love commentary. So yeah.
So AFL, basketball, cricket, all sorts. Tom, what's
Yeah,
your
all
specialty?
sorts. I can try and do whatever. I just love commentating. For my Wishes project in 2021, I did a commentary for my Wishes project. That's pretty good. So yeah.
Oh. You know, Tom, I reckon one of the first things is learning the craft of radio. And
Yeah.
probably going to radio school. Have you done that yet or not, Tom?
I haven't heard about that. Where would that be? Would that be somewhere or?
I'm trying to remember. I remember. I reckon Sean Craig Murphy used to run one.
It's called Australian Radio School.
Oh, there we go.
It's
So,
very
Sam,
good.
you've done it?
I've done it myself.
There you go, Tom.
Very,
so
very
our
good.
own Sam Tugwell's done it.
And
so,
Tom, and now Sam's
yeah.
sitting behind the keys. Tom, I wouldn't ask me because I'd only steer you the wrong way, and you know.
I reckon that's the first thing, mate. Go and do the Australian
Yeah.
Radio School.
Good tip.
Do the course, and that will get you into the art of radio.
Wow, cool. Thank you so much. I'm hoping that Port Adelaide and Crows, there'll be Port Adelaide Crows grand final this year, I reckon.
Well,
Tom,
Tom,
I
you
think-
are very
Tom,
optimistically
Tom.
hopeful.
Tom, you're a dreamer.
You're a good man.
We
I
like
like,
that, Tom.
it,
Love
Tommy.
it.
Thank you, Tom.
Hello, Craig.
Hey, how you going, boys? The young lady you had on just before, the DeBro, her grandfather's actually Brian,
Right.
who played in that Westies premiership with Curls and that.
Ah, right.
Oh, wow.
And there was a couple of, obviously her dad is Darren, and they've got another brother called Damien, and you would know probably Tim, Woody South Footy Club. They were all tied up there.
Yes, yeah. I
And
played
you-
against Michael when I was a kid.
Michael, yeah, he's my sister's age. He's 4 years older than me.
Yeah.
And you write anything they touch, like football or cricket, brilliant.
Geez, don't you
Unbelievable
hate
talent.
people like that.
Yeah. Well, there you
Yeah,
go.
it's
So
not a bad
Brian,
thing,
well,
is
I'll be. I didn't know that was the grandfather. There you
Yeah,
go.
certainly. He still lives up the road from Mum and Dad because I went to school with them all.
Oh, well, I'll be. And whereabouts was that? 'Cause- whereabouts was that, Craig?
That's in Findon, yeah. I
Yeah,
won't give the
Findon.
name.
Yeah, because it was
Findon.
Findon Primary I used to play against, and
Yeah,
him and
Findon
another.
Primary, and then
He
we
had
all
a-
went to Findon High, yep.
Right, well, Craig, he had a mate, David Straps, so it was Straps and DeBro, and they opened the bowling, they opened the batting, and we couldn't get them out, and they got us out.
Yeah, and any Saturday you find them down there. Tony Luders, I don't know if you remember Tony Luders.
Yeah.
They were as thick as thieves, those boys.
What a talent
Where
family.
they've all gone now, I've only got contact with Damien, which was the youngest. But where they all are now, I don't know. Probably listening to your show.
Oh, that's good. Good news, mate. Thanks for that.
It's a bit of a where are they now?
I like that.
Where are the De Brown?
The Bros. So Emma's going to be in Tasmania this Saturday, so we know that for sure. Playing for the Scorpions against the Tigers.
Who was a teammate of yours that just really peed you off, that no matter what they did, they were great? There were two for me. So you play golf straight down the middle. You go for a swim, they're out in front. You ride a bike, they're up Mount Lofty, the top. You go to the pub, triple 20. You know, you play snooker, pants job. Like, you know, no matter what, you do a crossword, they know all the answers. There were two that stand out for me. At Nord, it was Rocket Maynard.
Oh, right.
And unobtrusive, Rocket.
Yeah.
Didn't say a lot, but didn't have to.
Good country boy, Lamoureux.
Oh, loveliest bloke. So he was one. And the other one is Mods.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh, mate. He's
hand-eye.
Do you know he could throw a football from the centre circle through the goals?
Wow.
Gridiron style.
Wow.
Now, I know you've got to have played that game to have... But he could have been Tom Brady. There you go.
Oh, wow. Well, mine...
Oh, Sam's just fall off his chair. Wow. He could gridiron throw a football. That would be heavier than an NFL ball, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But it's bigger. It's harder to throw because of the width of it. Yep. So, yeah. No. He's an amazing
javelin,
talent.
State jumpers, state everything. Who was one of your teammates?
Mine was just... anything hand-eye was Rowan Smith. So he'd beat in darts, he'd beat in table tennis. He actually teased me in table tennis to the point where we'd be playing and we'd play a full-on tournament, a knockout comp, you name it, after training. And then we'd sing the national anthem for the final, and me and Rowan were the only ones that knew the words. And then we'd get through that, play the final, and then after everybody left, I'd say to Rowan, "You want to have a hit?" And he'd go, "Yeah." And he'd let me get to say 18, 17, and then he'd go whack, 21, 18.
I hate people that do that.
And I had to keep coming back and play again because I wouldn't give in.
Yeah, no, but they tease you. We used to have one downstairs here, a table tennis table. And, oh, my God.
Who was good at it?
Oh, Cam Thompson was just outstanding. I used to try to beat him. But
it's a misspent youth.
It is a misspent youth.
You know Rowan Smith beat Eddie Charlton in a game of 8 ball.
No, he didn't.
True story.
No, we need to get him on. Where are they now?
True story. We'll get
Smith.
him. I like it.
Beat Eddie Charlton?
Beat Eddie Charlton in a game of 8 ball.
Was Eddie 103?
4, I think.
Was he Eartha Kitt?
It was over. Rowan had 1 year at St Kilda, and they had something in Melbourne, and Rowan was there. And anyway, he got to play Eddie
and beat him.
Yeah,
maybe Eddie let him win.
That is a magnificent. Oh, actually, apparently, he wasn't happy.
You could wine and dine off that.
Oh yeah, and he does.
It's a bit like I beat Craig Parry at golf.
Yeah, which Craig Parry?
Yeah.
There you go. 27 after 6. Let's get to a break. On the other side, Port Adelaide's assistant coach Nathan Bassett.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
I am holding in my hand a packet of snow peas. These snow peas, they're not imported from some exotic overseas location. They're made in Paraka. Guess how much these snow peas cost?
Informing